To all those who hear, let us gather to witness the folds of time. Can you see the golden woods of Dawncast? Why does the first Toth kingdom stand yet without a king? Do you recognize the glistening beaches of Holy Water? Why do the forgetters purge memories for pleasure when all they get is pain? Can't you hear the screaming siblings? A planet and a realm both abandoned and forgot. Know now my proclamation. These are your savior's words. The God War has ended. Let there now be peace on Karth, or forever know my wrath.
You'll see the weirdest dice ever that my sister had and gave me. This is a D20.
I hate those things.
How do you?
You gotta get those like little
How
fidget
do you
spinner
do
ones.
that?
You roll it.
But like,
It was the simplicity of that answer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's going to get good today, boys and girls. Tragic Parties, Session 3. Welcome everybody back. My sweet little heroes. Last time on Dungeon Ball Z, we found ourselves walking into a bar where the locale and the workers were passed out drunk. Honestly, the majority of them that were in there. You did not spend long in there. You met two little brains that got Van a drink of water. Jax gave a piper to a one-eyed green-scaled sailor monster man. Noth, your intricately dressed with like purple frills all over the place. He kind of walked in and was like, all right, well, we were supposed to do a whole thing here, but Grana is passed out drunk right there. Eenie Steven, you're not doing your duties. Whatever, we'll just go to the next area. So you all decide to move on. You head into the tunnel, and walking into the tunnel, you saw this purple misty hidden area of like this purple misty sparkling sky. You started uncovering the mist, and seeing behind it, you saw a bunch of tapestries and art depictions of the people who created the train and the current ruler system of how the train works. You eventually ended up on Fuel Sanith Olivar, who was the last known Fuel. And he has been crowned for like 60 years, but like that, even that date was like 64, I think 65 years before that. After that, you found yourself walking into this grand circus fest area. Noth welcomes you with open arms. He floats off into the air like 5 feet and welcomes you to the grand fest. And you see before you a crazy, not really a circus, but more like a state fair area. There are rides to go on. There are actual prizes to be won. You decide as Noth tries to make his way off to go talk to someone else, to go figure out what he's got to figure out. Heppin decides to offer Noth a little peanut butter. And Noth doesn't know what this is. And he decides to take a little peanut butter because a ride does sound fun. So Noth gets a little Earth High, or Karth High, off of the Earth equivalent of a psychedelic-esque thing with peanut butter, and disappears. And standing there, y'all are left to your own devices. Van dashes off to go find what's off in the next area. Dareem and Jax go to the prize area because Jax, being the sweet child that he is, wants some prizes. Games are fun. You were met by Kestra, this golden-skinned Toth lady with billowing royal clothes and a massive sunflower hat on her head. She sings songs to you, talking about the prizes that you can win, the powder room, you can play stop hammer time, you can dagger throw, or you can go fight in the Coliseum. Hep, left to their own devices, decides, I'm gonna check out the sky because I can do that. And Hep flies off into the sky, sees a massive ladder off in the distance that seems to be leading up to somewhere into this giant domed ceiling. flying up the ladder, Hep unlocks the secrets of what looks to be Noth's bedroom. And in this bedroom, Hep steals some sweet stuff. While this is happening, Van has returned to Jackson Dareem. They have gathered at the Coliseum as Dareem has decided, I'm going to take on Blur, the bronzed metal man. If you beat Blur in the Coliseum, then you can win the ultimate prize. And barely, with some rolls going, it's so close. Some rules forgotten, some rules learned. We had our first real intense combat, and Dareem barely fell. Just barely bested by Blur, the Nimblewright, as Dareem is recharging. During that fight, Jax unlocked something within himself. He saw the future of how Blur was about to take a stabby stab with an advantageous position, and Jax canceled it out. On top of all of that, Heppin decides to take a little ride, a sweet little ride on a Ferris wheel, and has an incredible time. An incredible time.
I was always taught to give in to the trip.
You give in to what's happening. Accept the wave, and you ride that wave, baby. Heppin meets back up with with the rest of the heroes, and we literally left off. Heppin has said, the Ferris wheel was better than any trip I've ever had in my life. And as they turned their head to point at the Ferris wheel, y'all all saw engraved, it's like a raised tattoo, purple smiley face on their neck, which was not previously there before. To set the stage, Blur is adjusting some stuff on Dareem's, the apparatus that seems to be healing Dareem, right? The 3 festival workers are no longer in the stands anymore now that this area has stopped and y'all are all standing there. Heppin has literally just said, this Ferris wheel was better than anything myself, and you have seen the smiley face.
What's on your neck?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That thing there. It looks like a face.
Like a face? Can I feel it? Like if I put my...
Yeah, there's something raised on your neck. 2 dots. You can trace like a smile and then a circle. And as far as you know, that wasn't there before.
I think. I have no clue, but it looks like I've been branded by this smiley man. But, it wasn't without reward because I got some really cute, cool stuff. And I'm going to go, fly up to your bunny ears and be like, I found something in a sky room. Yeah.
Where were you, Heppin?
I went up there.
I look up. Do I see it? Do I see anything?
If Hep is pointing to where you just were, then you look over following where they're pointing, and there is a ladder leading up to the dome that kind of disappears. Like it is hundreds of feet off, but you do see like this sliver of some sort of shiny metal object that you're like, oh, okay, that leads up.
Where does it go? What did you see up there?
It was just it. Is there like people around?
The Blur, the bronzed metal man, the thinner with like big mustache, all of this is still metal. He has walked out towards the front desk area where he's supposed to be waiting at, right? And other than that, there isn't anybody around. As he's walking, everybody give me a perception check.
Who's walking?
Blur, the person
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, sure.
The person that Dareem lost to. Yeah. I'm gonna reiterate that one every time.
Cool. 19 on the perception.
Okay.
I got where is it going? There it is. Look at it. Look at that 20.
That's good.
I got
23
total. I
total.
don't know where to look.
Jack's 5. Heppin total?
23.
23, Van total.
20 total.
20 total, Dareem total. God, y'all.
19.
I will say, Jax isn't paying attention to his surroundings because you see him standing in the center of the arena with a huge smile on his face.
Okay, all right. Okay, you're standing in the middle of the arena. Some like 30 feet off, because I think the arena is like 60 across. Is where your friends are currently, like just like talking. Like as y'all look over, Jax just. So as Blur walks out, Heppin, Dareem, and Van, you all notice as he's a very collected, especially Dareem, because you fought them, or you fought him, Van, you fought him. Heppin, you do seem to pick up on something. He can't stop staring at you. Like, he's looking at each of you, from Jax in the middle, to Heppin, to Van, to Dareem, and he looks honestly, he looks concerned. Like, he is very interested. There's something going on there of like, he just kind of walks away and like, he's kind of like looking over his shoulder, like looking at y'all, very, very intrigued.
Where is he walking to?
He just walks back. He walks out of the front
Back
where
to
you walked
the
into,
entry.
back to
Okay.
the little entry area. Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna walk over to Jax, and just say, I'm sorry I failed you. Next time will be different. And quick question. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No,
Quick
you're
question
good.
for you, Sam, and
Yeah.
I guess for you too, Skylar. With the servant, it's always there with me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then,
to me, I was gonna homebrew if you wanted to like literally have it as a piece of your body, right? Like on your shoulder or something, to where like the thing, you know how your chest comes off? Like it can break away and start floating when you want it to. Like it has a docking station almost. But we homebrewed that it was a little, it's like a little, it looked like your friend, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to know,
almost like a
if,
cool, ornate, like carving in the back of your shoulder. This is what I was thinking. At least you can do like there's just been this little like guy just kind of like mummy style, just like docked in there.
Okay, that's perfect. So I say that to Jax. I say next time will be different, and then I just kind of make him come to life and start hovering.
Can I just like take Van and just kind of like nod my head and like walk outside?
Yeah,
like away from.
Yeah, y'all are doing that.
Yeah.
So your homunculus servant on like a thought command, he kind of sits up, sits forward, and you know those reference drawing dolls you can get that are like a head, body, and like they kind of do this. They don't really have like a pose. Like this is like one of the most intricate toy figurines. Like it looks like that, but it's a little metal man that's about the size of a hand from bottom of palm to top of fingertip. And he just, with little like propulsion jets on his, like just air stuff, just psh, psh, psh. He flies off, hovers, starts correcting himself, and hovers around Dareem. Same color. Actually, what does he look like?
From what I remember, he was a worker in the kitchen, so he would have like a little like chef costume on, I guess you could say.
Perfect.
Yep. That's what he has on. That's canon.
And he's got the little chef hat, and like as he's like hovering or whatever, I want it to kind of be like a helicopter type of feel. So like he has just like a little like
little helicopter out of his head?
Yeah, just like a little helicopter on his chef hat.
So the chef hat is a part of the creature. Like it like is a metal part also, and the top of it opens, and then a little like toothpick looking thing just like comes out and then splits open, and
I'm only picturing Robot Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob.
That's great.
Does that make sense, Dareem?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I want to say his name was like, I don't know, something like very tiny. I don't know if that helps. I know. You know, let's just give it a second.
Jax is like, oh, that's so cool. Man, you're so cool, Dareem. Also, you're fine. You didn't fail me. I wouldn't say that at all. but you kind of see his face kind of change a little bit, and what was like joyful like 12-year-old glee has now turned into joyful 12-year-old mischief, and now he's like, now it's my turn.
Oh
God.
And he's just kind of standing there expectant, like making direct eye contact with Blur, just waiting.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna give a little moment for Heppin and Van to start walking out as they were talking.
So I took a trip. I just was walking around the fair. It was great. It was wonderful. I just took a trip to the Ferris wheel. I had to see the whole thing. I just like flew around. There's a lot of fun people here, you know? And like as soon as we kind of get out of eye shot or
back
like
to like
earshot,
the starting area that you first walked into, right? Like it's a big open area. You can clearly see that there's no one within 60 feet of you.
like, let's go find like cotton candy. Like I'd like go walk to get
There are multiple stands of food all over the place. You can see delicious, like melt in your mouth. You can smell it. I mean, Van was literally smelling it when he went to the door. Like everywhere, very, very easily accessible. You go get you pick up a little cotton candy.
So I flew up to the sky and I went up a ladder and it was some sort of bedroom. And I got this, and I'll show him the glove. I got it. I'll open up my coat, and I'll be like, I got this glove.
She's giving the what do you
and
buy?
then I got,
like she just opens her.
And then I got.
Heppin, they like open their coat, and like you just see just in a flash, kind of that like old New York 1920s. There's you want a pocket watch, right? Just like a little flash of like, oh, there's a little golden glove in there.
Yeah, I got this glove. And I got this dagger. And then, do you know this language? And I'm gonna like pull out the book and be like, cause I can't read it, but I figured somebody might be able to.
I'll take a look at it. Can I read it?
That is very clearly English.
Yes, I can read this. It's English.
Oh, cool. I also got this box. Or how about these papers? You can read this too. I don't really like words. It's really my thing.
Opening up, really quick, opening up it's a circus book, right?
Yeah, it is a book on festivals and circuses from the world at large around 2006. Of the abandoned or of the wasted world of Earth, which you know all about, and this is very much English.
Okay.
It's not an almanac as much as it is a thin like something you'd have like the books that you put out on a coffee table. Like it's really pretty, lots of art, lots of pictures, and a whole lot of English, which is really fun to do in Karth because nobody speaks English there. You know what I mean? Which is gonna break your brain about, wait, what have we been speaking this whole time? You've been speaking
I'm thinking right now.
Karth.
So two quick questions. First question, just kind of, let's just say I like leafing through, do I see anything strange, like any like extra markings that were written in, like anything like that, or is it all just textbook?
Leafing through, it looks like the equivalent of a 8-year-old homeschooler's homework almost, where in the linings of even like not around the words, right? Like there are doodles all over the place. You ever picked up like an old school book that just like got passed down, right? With a bunch of pictures, random stuff. It looks like that.
Okay. Anything, what's an example of something I would, like a note that was left in there or something like that? Or is it just doodles?
A lot of doodles, a lot of points in Karth like towards pictures and like circling certain like circus acts or like beast tamers, right? Like if there's a ringleader who has lions in a cage, this is not something to even be seen on the world of Karth in the first place. There are no lions here, so that would be circled, and in Karth it would be written like some sort of like must find, what we should look for this. And as you're leafing through, on the very, very front, you see property, like an actual name in the book. And it says, Property of Noth Ilton.
Okay.
Firstborn
Hold on.
to...
Okay, go ahead. Noth what?
Illten, Ilton.
Okay.
Firstborn to Power, Thestra Ilton. Like the word power, Thestra Ilton of Empire Circus.
Okay.
What's her name?
Thestra Illten. Thestra.
Thestra.
That's true.
My dear Aunt Thestra.
Okay.
And those words are like inscripted. It does not look like a 10-year-old's scribblings or an 8-year-old scribbling. Those specific words are like property of, and like they are beautiful written script that is like very, very finite. I don't know if you failed your kanji classes, right? Like in this world or whatever, like whatever the equivalent of, but it is beautiful manuscript.
Got you. Okay, last question with the book. Looking at the pictures, is anything in the book in the area around us?
As you kind of flip through for a second, there are very clearly, there's Ferris wheels, there's a ride section that you can pick out, the ones you can see cresting over the Coliseum off in the distance. There are thoughts of prizes. There's even a section of these weird building with like monstrous mechanical animals singing inside of them that talk a lot about prizes. One is called Chuck E. Cheese. Another one is called Showtime. Like there's like a section on like these in the back, like any festivals the world over. Those papers seem to be printouts that are like shoved in the back. Like there is some to kind of get an idea of like, okay, seems this is based a little bit off of some sort of learning.
Gotcha.
Sorry, did you just make Chuck E. Cheese canon?
Oh, you damn right. The beautiful thing is, the Earth is, is basically ours. Like it's 1 degree off. So
I get it.
Yeah.
Hey.
you like, if you were like, I love football, I couldn't do anything about that. I watched
Word
NFL
up.
games. I'd be like, shit, you did that.
I guess so.
You could have been a human from Earth. You know what I'm saying?
It's dope.
Word up.
Yeah.
Hep, can I ask you something?
As I'm like leafing through the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to one of these? A circus?
Have I? No.
You've seen festivals. Theria has festivals through each shrine from the upper area. One's celebrating your mom, basically, right? But as far as this goes, and the pictures on the book, which is much more Earth tech, right? Like the world of Karth has this very flavorful, high magic, steampunk-esque look and feel to it. This stuff is much more electronic, which feels wholly alien to you looking at it, right? Like the things that are turning and the lights that are blinking on a circus wheel are not the same as the one that are in the background. So whatever a circus is, this I think would be the first time you have been to one.
No. I have absolutely no clue what this is. I've been to a lot of parties. This is the first one that I've gotten smiley face hickeys at.
Damn it. I broke canon.
Canon, dude.
Got him.
I don't know why that got me.
I'm just picturing someone like sucking on a neck and pulling back, and it's just like, oh, look at that.
What place is this?
Okay.
Oh man.
I was in the wasted world, and they had these circuses, but I've never seen them here. Why would Noth know of a circus?
Is it in these papers?
Take a look
And
at
I
the
give him
paper.
the papers?
Looking over the papers.
And then I'm gonna start opening up the box.
Sweet. Opening up the papers, you give them a sweet little once over, and basically wrapped together, you see an invitation and it says, Dearest Festmaster Noth. I can copy and paste this all to you, but
Please.
it says, Dearest Festmaster Noth, track Majestic, first track of Luster, second of Splendor, third in line for Shimmermore. Dearest Festmaster Noth. Paragraph. Track Majestic, first track of Luster, second of Splendor, third in line for Shimmermore, has found your exploits incredible. We have heard tale of your wondrous carnival from Master Morwyn and have accepted his offer. We will drop the contract, the normal affair, 3-month stint with the 3-week setup period before and after. Welcome to Track Majestic, signed Illuminator Pressa. That is what the papers are. They're this really ornate of unfolding folds on folds invitation.
Okay.
There is on the very front of them a little engraving of what you see it as Track Majestic, like the symbol for it, the train itself. The lines of the paper are lined in like the track, and it's a real pretty invitation.
It would seem that Noth was invited here.
I will say, looking at it, the ink, sorry, I wrote a little thing. The ink on the paper is a little worn and a little blotchy. The paper itself is also a little worn.
Gotcha.
There are parts on it. As you're looking at it, go ahead and make an investigation check. 17? Looking at it, one of the things you notice is that the ink in spots, even though it is intricately done, seems to be almost whiteouted and written over. Like, it matches the color of the paper perfectly, but there are places where the bleed is just not correct, to where it looks like it may have been, the writing may have been kind of replaced.
Hep, take a look at this.
And I'm gonna show him what you just told me.
I get like really close to it. What are you talking about? What's going on? Do I see anything?
It's been altered. Look closer.
Yeah, as he says, look closer, you kind of.
Oh, is there like? Is it like every other? Is there certain words that were like blotched out and then written over, or they're like?
Almost like you're pixel peeping a really good Photoshop of something. You can just kind of tell that the main part where the part that I read off earlier, the invitation part, has been replaced, intricately replaced, finally replaced. But like to a first glance, you wouldn't notice, but like staring at it a little bit, it's kind of been replaced.
Interesting. I don't know. Do you think it like wasn't supposed to be for Noth? It was for someone else?
I think a lot of things here aren't what they're supposed to be.
I mean, there were more books in the room. I mean, you can run pretty fast. Can you like run up the wall?
I can run fast, but not that fast.
How about, can you jump?
I can jump, but not that high. Listen.
You did some really impressive things, and I thought the bunny ears would mean you'd be good at hopping too, maybe.
It's so hard to argue with Hep because I love Hep so much. And so it's so hard not to break character.
Hep is so pure. I love them so freaking much.
Okay.
I would like to see what else is in there. Let's go get the others.
Cut to standing in the middle of the Colosseum, Jax, the mischievous glare on their eyes, is staring down Blur. And Blur just kind of like, he's watching Heppin and he's watching Van, like just kind of like that same look of intrigue. And then he turns around to check because y'all haven't left yet, Dareem and Jax. And then he just sees Jax and just kind of startled a second, like, oh. He doesn't say anything, obviously, but he's just like, and he kind of points to himself, like, and you nod, and he goes, he just sighs and he walks into the ring and
look at Jax and I say, just be careful.
Oh, okay.
I believe in you. And then I walk over to Sita in the stands.
Okay. And, it is at this point that I'm pretty sure y'all are still talking, especially like looking over stuff. You will have heard this though. Blur has walked into the middle of the ring, and he's just looking down at you. He's 5 feet away. He's like walked slowly up to you, and he's now staring down into your face. Confused. How tall are you?
Like, he's like, I put 5'4" in the character sheet, but I think he's more like 4'11".
4'11", yeah. He's a kid. He's a 12, yeah, cool. So he's got...
On your Tinder bio, you're 5'4".
Jax is a confirmed catfish.
Yeah. The Astro Boys Tinder profile is a confirmed. So he's just staring. He's looking down at you, and he is very intrigued. He has never seen anything like you before. His hand kind of just like he holds up the rapier and he points to it and gives you like a questioning, like, "Is this what you're trying to?" And you. Yeah. You give him the nod, and
he's just nodding furiously. Yes.
Just give him the yeah. And he's like, and he turns around to like 10 feet away, and as he takes his stance, you hear a raucous applause of yeah, as yet again the thing starts up, and in the stands, Kestra and the winged gargoyle lady and a third person are sitting in the stands and like, yeah! Screaming now. And Heppin and Van, you hear the cheer of it starting again.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna go over and see
And as you're making your way, Blur will give you the Morpheus and say, go for it. What's your turn?
While this is happening, I'm just like, while he's going in, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna go back up to the room and make another trip and get the rest of the books and come back down.
Okay.
This is like great time.
Yeah, you're like,
Not stoned. The guys in the fighting, like, I'm like, okay, perfect opportunity.
I will say that I was so enamored by another fight happening, didn't even see Hep go.
You are making your way to the Coliseum, and you're like about to go through the gates, and you. Oh, damn it. Where did Hep go? Hep, you have buzzed off. Yeah. And Jax, let's do it. You're first.
Jax
you're 5 feet
takes,
away.
Or 10 feet away, right? Is what
10 feet away? Yeah.
Jax takes like a couple steps back, kind of gauging distance, and then you see like calm hit his face. And then on his forehead, a third eye barely begins to open, right? And then from his eye, you kind of see in the middle a beam of what kind of spell is this? Enchantment. What color is enchantment?
Magic Karth.
Damn, you really took Sam telling you that you could do whatever you wanted to like a whole new level.
Yeah, guide you to doing this. Enchantment is this ethereal, beautiful brown.
Okay, so a brown beam shoots from the center of his eye straight at Blur's forehead. You kind of there's a word that Jax mutters as he does this, but it's kind of it's a magical incantation. It doesn't really like it. It's kind of like saying a character, you know, and it just shoots forward, and he needs to make an intelligence saving throw.
This is a magical effect?
Yes, this is the spell Mind Sliver.
Okay, so he has advantage on this because Nimble Rides.
He does.
And he rolled a 9.
So that is a fail. He takes 6 psychic damage.
Okay.
And then, out of nowhere, Jax kind of doubles over, putting his hands over his stomach and says, "I don't feel good." And then his eyes kind of roll back, his mouth opens up, and a jet of acid shoots from his mouth as he and just goes, and just like projectile vomits acid, casting Tasha's Caustic Brew as a bonus action, using Quicken Spell.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there like...
Kind of his eyes kind of his two normal eyes kind of roll back into his head as he kind of does this like full Zatch spell, like suck air, you know. And
all right.
he needs to make. So I'm casting it at 2nd level.
Okay.
And so Blur needs to make a dex save, and I will use my reaction to negate his advantage on his saving throw for this.
Yeah, because magic resistance.
Coming in hot.
Yeah.
Can y'all tell which one of us plays D&D?
Yeah, this is your time to shine, buddy. Scott has been done as spellcaster before. Okay, yeah, so he will roll a dex save.
Yep.
Tasha, and this does count against a spell or magical effect.
Right, and so he would have advantage on his saving throw, but I'm using my reaction to activate, what feature is it called?
17.
Restore balance. Okay, so because of failing Mind Sliver, he subtracts a d4 from his roll, which I'm about to roll. He got a 15, which passes, so the spell doesn't work.
Gotcha. Mind Sliver specifically, would you read it to me? I just like to know these things. Mind Sliver.
You drive a disorienting spike of psychic energy into the mind of one creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on an intelligence save or take a d6 psychic damage and subtract 1d4 from their next saving throw before the start of your next turn.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's it.
So, in a flash, Jareem, you see this little sweet boy, his seemingly plastic skin on his head just begins to split as a third eye
it's still closed and it opens horizontally, so it's kind of like an eye opening, but it isn't completely open.
So it creases out to where it is seen, right?
Yes.
And it cracks open a little, and this energy just blasts forward, smacking Blur right in the head, and he bends over, and then I don't feel so good, right as Jax just out acid all over him, and Blur is just enough to like sidestep the Tasha's Caustic Brew. Right, he didn't take anything from it because he passed.
He passed.
It's a save or suck, basically.
Yes.
And then he will look at you and go, and run up to you and try to stab you with rapier and 2 daggers.
Yeah.
Rapier 1 is 18.
Hits.
More 19.
Hits.
Both rapiers seem to hit. They
rapier,
do
dagger.
It's rapier
Dagger. Okay.
dagger. The first one does 8 damage.
Okay.
The second rapier does 10 damage.
I'm unconscious.
Literally, Van, as you're walking, you're like, oh, awesome. What a dope fight that's gonna happen. You start sprinting forward towards the Coliseum to see this little boy puke acid, and Blur just like sidesteps and then just stab in the blink of an eye as Jax takes both and goes something and then falls over.
Yeah.
Ow. Hits the ground. Yeah.
In that moment, I'm going to use my insane dash speed to dash from whatever point I am, scoop up Jax, and then jump outside of the Coliseum with him in arms.
But as you're doing that, but like Blur's just like, like a little like, I didn't expect that. And then out of nowhere, I'm gonna put you third. Like he's kind of like reaching forward, like because there is no death here. Mm-hmm. It's like he's reaching forward to like help, but you just auto reaction forward, take him out, and you run your way up to the top of the Coliseum steps. And you can choose to jump off if you want, but you do have him in your arms.
Jax, are you okay?
Is he?
You feel this like little energy start tickling in you as around the Coliseum. Jax does as around the Coliseum this purple swirls, around the almost like its own little dome section, and it shimmers. It's easy to see through, but it just kind of shimmers. As Jax, you are back to 1 HP, and then over the course, like per second, 2 HP, 3 HP as you're coming back. If you would like to regain all the other stuff, you'll probably have to sit in the thing that Dareem was sitting, just in general, but you have him in your arms at the top of the thing, and
I'm still looking at the.
this all happened literally in like 12 seconds.
Also, I would say on his like where he got stabbed, there are some blood spots, but instead of red, it's like black oily substance, and that's also a detail.
Blur is standing in the middle of the Colosseum, shocked by how quick everything just went down, but he is looking at the edge of his blade at this oil, and he is looking up at both of you, and he just kind of like, his eyes actually look concerned and shocked for a moment, and he just like kind of waves you down and keeps pointing towards the Healy seat that Dareem was put in. It's at this point that you notice for a moment that Kestra starts just clapping like, oh, good form. And then the gargoyle's like, I loved that one. And the other guy that has been sitting there who y'all have not met yet is just like, wow, incredible. And they are all just sitting there clapping.
I guess I noticed where is Blur?
Yeah, Blur is in the middle of the Coliseum.
I noticed where he's looking, and I look up, and I see these like holding him. I just kind of, I run over to them as fast as I can.
Yeah. You start making.
While he's coming towards, I'm walking down.
Okay, cool. You're bringing Jax. I'm like held in your arms. You are just held simply a lot, like literally without even a problem. He's just got you.
Mm-hmm. Jax is kind of just like limp.
Yeah.
You can tell he's conscious, but he's not paying attention. He looks like he's looking far away. He's not really there in that moment.
Okay. I'm not looking at him. Like I'm looking dead at Blur, but like as I'm walking down, holding him.
Are you all right?
I'm disappointed in myself. I thought I could do better.
You did okay. Don't worry.
You kind of see tears kind of welling up in his eyes, and he kind of just starts wiping away at them. You know? He's just like, okay, I'll do better. Actually, I have an idea.
At that, I break gaze with Blur to look, glance at him.
Yeah. And he's just pointing at the seat, like he's not saying anything. He's motioning towards it, like, please put the child in the thing.
All right, so like, say we're right before. If we jumped into the stands or whatever, we're like at the edge. I'm gonna set Jax down to stand up, like there.
Shoulder to shoulder.
By that time, do I like get
you're
to them?
over.
Because I want to just help him over to the healing.
Yeah. You have entered back into the Coliseum, the actual like fight pit area. And Jax, you are standing up and you are getting closer and closer to full HP at this point. Like you are not. If you're stumbling, there may be some emotional scarring for sure, but physically you are feeling back to the top. As you are heading over, I think, to sit in the chair for a second?
Yeah, sweet. For sure.
I guess I'll take him from... I'll take him from Van, and I'll say, if you could do something, I think he deserves it. And then I go to help him back over.
Okay.
Who was that to?
I think it was to me.
I was talking to Van about
Gotcha.
Blur.
All right, I said on Blur, I'm going to make my way into the Coliseum.
Blur's just like he's still at the chair, and he's just like put the thing in, and then you set Jax down into the chair. Blur helps strap him in, presses some buttons on the chair next to it, and you start feeling like this energy swirling around you as like you basically get to take a long rest. And as he's doing that, he stands up, and as he's like about to his hand reaches up to make a motion towards Dareem and Jax, he notices both of you, are staring off over across the Coliseum. And he kind of turns around and sees Van 6'5" Bunny Man just like skull on, cloak, a silver cloak floating in the wind, and he's like, and his gears just whir, slowing down like.
Round 3, baby.
Yeah, go for it.
This is basically like taking a long rest.
Yeah, just click taking a long rest. Yeah. Okay, real quick. The thing is, I thought that would last longer. It's only been, I think, a minute tops.
That combat was 6 seconds. Okay.
Wild.
It was literally, oh God! The Bunny Man came in.
That's some like Doom Patrol fighting scene.
Oh God, we have achieved my favorite thing. That is so true. So I will say, you have not gotten that far before you heard the commotion. You're more than welcome to go back up there, but you're maybe 60 feet in that second, right? Like away, right? Maybe like 120 feet.
I'm gonna keep going. I have no clue. I still hear commotion. I'm like, God damn it! I thought I had it. I got enough. I gotta go get more stuff. All right, whatever.
So you're flying your way back. It's probably gonna take you about like 10 minutes, 8 minutes roughly to like get there and back. Right?
Yeah, I just want to go in and get as much stuff as I can, like books-wise, like information things.
So are you trying to scope more stuff out while you're in that room, or are you just trying to get the circus books you already knew were there?
Yeah, just the stuff I already knew was there.
Okay, cool.
Like if I see something while I'm going in, like new maybe, but like...
The only thing that is new in the room, in the box, next to the books, is a yellow rock that you seem to have missed.
I'll put that in my pocket.
Yeah, write down yellow rock.
Yellow rock.
Can I check to see if there's anything in the frame of the picture?
Oh, okay. It'll take a little bit more time. You can go ahead and roll because like it's already, we're literally only a minute into the 8 minutes.
I just want to go up and get the stuff that I think I did it. I'm gonna go in, get the books that I haven't gotten,
cool.
that I didn't get, and bring it down. I don't really care about the gestures thing. I don't think, and they're so big I can't even carry it.
You get 4 more circus books, roughly in the same. They look somewhat in the same script, so write those down. In the meantime, as you're off doing that, Blur just and he goes and he walks. He goes over to a section of the wall, presses a button, and it opens up into another apparatus. And he just like gives you like a one finger, right? And then he puts his body into it, and you see that the acid scars from Dareem and the like whatever like psychic crack, like a little crack happened in his skull, those mend around him as he also gets to reset, and then he will join you in the middle of the Coliseum. And he will kind of like, he puts his hand up to give you the go for it, but like he just saw you, like he's a little hesitant. Like he's just kind of like looking at you, and like his mustache is twitching, and then he's like, come on, give it to me.
All right, as he does that, Van is going to take a quick breath. He's gonna reach into the sky, both hands just stretching up. Yep, just limbering up. Cracking his neck for like a little bit. Then looking at Blur.
All right. I need to ask you a question.
And I'm gonna
yeah. And he just kind of shifts, like he like looks around, and it yet again, right before you said that, same, literally, now that you've heard it 3 times, the exact same crowd noise, the exact same raucous. It's like hearing a sound effect on repeat in a movie, and they've used it 4 times, right? They've used it 3 times. And over in the corner, on their little bench, the 3 people in their gigantic hats are sitting and watching. And you say, I need to ask you something, and you
take 5 steps forward. Just like I say that as I'm taking a couple steps forward. I'm still gonna leave we're like 10 feet away, right?
Yeah.
At the start, so I'm gonna leave 5 feet in between us. and
Cool.
I'm going to take the dodge action and wait.
You start doing the dope fighters circling each other, right? Like 10 feet away. And you're just kind of taking a stance and you said...
Yeah.
Go for it.
No, I was saying the stance itself, he's not really taking like a martial arts stance or anything like that. He's just taking a readied stance. Like he's ready, but there's nothing to say that he's taking a fighting stance right now.
So it's his turn?
Yeah.
Anything else, bonus action?
Nope.
He kind of looks at you and then he kind of glances over his shoulder at the three people in the stands. And then he looks back at you and is like, he doesn't say anything. And he kind of like, he flexes for a second and then comes in for a stab.
Okay.
It is at this point, Jax, sitting in your sweet little fun time chair. I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
5.
The rejuvenating feeling of the sweet Coliseum, it sucks to lose. Doesn't feel good. This is the first time you've tried something and failed. Literally. Like, you have now known,
Failure.
oh God, I can fail at things. I didn't know that was possible. And as that swirls around you, you do feel the music just kind of swelling in you, and you're like the same one that you heard off in the distance as you were walking into the fairground, and purple energy just coalesces a little bit at the edges of your peripheral as you're sitting there watching Van about to get stabbed on, and you just kind of you feel like a little bit more serene. Van does a natural 1 hit you.
Actually,
you dodge actioning means I roll at disadvantage, correct?
Yes, it does.
Stab 1, miss. Stab 2 is probably also a miss. 12.
Okay. As a reaction, can I ask him a question?
No.
Okay.
But you can free action asking him before it's your turn, like in between. We can RP that, but like you don't have to like burn a reaction to do that stuff. Cool. He does have one more dagger.
Cool.
Though. Okay, well now he's rolling like butt. Does an 11 hit?
No, it does not.
So he stabs, his hand twists into a dagger from his wrist. Stab. How do you?
Okay. So he's doing 2 rapiers and 1 dagger, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Thrust, swipe.
So the first rapier slat, the first one's like a stab, right? So
both rapiers are thrusts.
All right, sounds good. So I'm going to sidestep the first one.
Yep.
Letting it get close to me, like knowing I can dodge it, but letting it, get a little bit close. The second stab, I'm going to beat away with my hand.
Yeah.
Ooh. And then
you're doing what? With what?
I'm gonna beat that rapier away with my hand,
yes, you are.
baby. I'm gonna beat it hard.
You're just gonna, okay, all right. Okay. You did that, yeah.
Sidestep the first one, beat away the second one, and then when he goes in for the dagger, I would like to dodge it in such a way that it passes through, but it allows me to kind of like step in and like just get like right next to him to where his ear would be, if that makes sense.
You are not technically grappled or anything, but you are where you would assume an ear would be.
Got you.
And it is your turn.
Okay.
While there, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Gotcha. That's a 1. So wait, if I have proficiency, there's just extra points in it, right? It's not advantage is twice, but
you do have advantage on perception checks and investigation checks that have to do with smell and hearing. If you're using just what you're looking at, you do not.
Got you. Cool. Well, that was a 6 total.
A 6 total. So, there's a lot of things that you can see being this close to such a beautifully intricate made bronze creature. You don't see a lot of those things because you're in the heat of the battle. But what you do see, in this little moment, there are at the top of where his skull meets his neck, there are 6 little slots there, like where memory cards would go. And there are 2 of them are gone and 4 of them are still there. And he will, while you've got him and he missed, he will reach back with his dagger and tap it twice. He'll tap where all those little slots are.
Interesting. Okay.
And it is your turn.
Free action. Going to ask, who is Noth?
And he is he does not say anything. He will just, again, at this point, he's going to, this is going to be so, physical and beautiful. He's going to move his chest. I just thought about this sentence and all the ways it could be taken. He's going to move his chest into yours and then start flailing his arm a little as if, he's been grappled, right? As you ask him that. And he's trying to struggle, and again he's gonna tap and point, and you can kind of tell that Kestra and the workers are off in the Colosseum where they're at. He is specifically positioned to where they cannot see what his dagger is doing. There's a blind spot right here. He's going to point at one of those little slots that still have something in it.
You're right. Is he pointing at a very specific one or just in general,
all 4 of them, yeah.
Okay. All right. In that case, I'm going to, I don't know what this would be, but I'm going to attempt to grab one of those and remove it.
You do that. You put a hand up to it as if you're going to you move around him and give him the full Nelson or something, the arm bar, and then you
we're kind of
pretending to still be going at it.
We're fighting, but it's kind of like a dance in a way. We're moving together a little bit, and in that little move that he was doing, I'm going to see if I can slip one of those cartridges out of its slot.
So you slip one out. In the second you touch it with your hand, you hear a voice.
Be careful. Make sure they do not see.
And then he will try to push you off of him as you have that in your hand.
Okay.
His mouth makes no movements. He resets, and you hear that voice in your head.
Okay. Cool. So did any of that count as an action or anything? Do I still have stuff to do? What's up?
We will say that in this little 6 seconds, this little dance, you have separated back to 10 feet apart, and it is your turn.
Okay. Cool. So I'm going to keep the thing hidden clearly from the peeps. It's in my hand. That's kind of balled up like a fist. And then I am going to just take the dodge action again and wait.
Do you say or do anything?
In that particular moment, no. I want to see what he does.
He is going to start readying himself. Take a deep breath, and you'll hear a voice in your head.
You can speak to me from there. Hold that in your hand, and I will hear you.
Gotcha.
Nice.
And he will lunge at you again with his sword.
Gotcha.
He is going to make a performance check because he is not trying to beat you.
Gotcha.
He is not trying to stab you. He is trying to dance. Actually, he's going to make it an advantage if you want to help out, because as he's stabbing, he's going to say left, he's going to tell you where he's, you know what I mean, in these moments. So you hear left,
so cool.
duck, jump.
I play along.
He rolled a 19. He doesn't have much on the performance, but which performance I'm assuming is charisma based. Is that right,
Yes.
Skyline?
Yes.
That makes it a 17, but still, I get to roll twice. Same, still, so a 17. Y'all have entered into this dance of where he missed, right? As he's telling you where to go. and you catch his eye as you hear in your head, "Can you be trusted?"
Just tell me what I need to know.
And he'll say, "I will kick my ass and we'll get them out of here."
Well, all right.
Cool. I don't even know if we need to roll this because he is not trying to win. He's going to tell you telepathically and telegraphically almost. He's going to tell you where he's swiping for you to beat his ass. He has about 30 HP, so if you want to tell me how dopely you beat his ass, go for it.
Well,
that's all you.
After he says that, I mean, the gloves are off, even though I'm not wearing gloves, but
yeah.
All right, so I'm going to start by attempting to disarm him.
Okay, you do that. Yeah. You move in quick. He stabs. You grab his wrist, crack it even as he let goes of his rapier. You have him.
All right, so you're giving me free reign here to do whatever I want. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
all right, cool. All right, bet. So he goes in. He tries to stab with a rapier. I finesse it, and just like you said, twisting his robot wrist to a point where he has to drop it. He goes in for the dagger, with which I slap upwards and then palm him twice in the chest while still holding his wrist. Just one time, two time. Actually, not palm because I have the thing in my hand. I'm gonna punch him twice in the chest, still holding him. And then I'm going to...
His chest begins to cave and dent where he's getting punched.
And then taking a bit of like a judo stance, going to step my other foot in, drop my shoulder so that his arm is over my shoulder, and I'm gonna full-on tomahawk his ass into the air and then slam him down onto the Coliseum ground.
With an incredible show, Jax and Dareem, you both see this. A raucous applause all over you. Y'all clapping, and in the stands, they're clapping too. As
Jax is elated.
Goes, Blur goes down, slams against the ground in the middle of the Coliseum, and just falls limp for a moment. Is at this point that the cheering dies off. Oh, what a good show! And the three, they all like cheers, and as they're waving, and then y'all all kind of make eye contact, when you look back, they are gone. And it is just y'all. It is at this point, Blur will set himself up.
Am I back yet?
The problem with combat is I think that's like 4 minutes.
Okay, cool.
You know
just
what I mean?
Wanted to double check.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're getting close though. Like a little bit more talking, and like you can fly in for sure.
Okay.
As he sits up, he stares at you for a moment and just gives you a nod. And actually, next to your foot, and a puff of purple smoke, a jar about the size up to your ankle, which I guess is pretty huge, is sitting there, and out of it, with a burst of confetti, this ticket, golden, just gets shot out and falls down to the ground. And on it, it says, redeemable for one ultimate prize. I would like Van to make a wisdom saving throw.
So I got a 7, so a 10 total.
As you're standing there, there's a whispering in the back of your head. As this purple energy coalesces at the side of just in a flash at the side of your peripheral vision. There's a moment where you're like, wait a second, and like that sinking feeling begins to hit, but it's gone. And it doesn't happen. And you're like, okay, well, that was different. No turning in your stomach happens this time.
Okay, cool. Well, in that case, I'm going to take up the ticket that is now on the ground,
Yeah.
And seeing that
at this point, Hep, you can be flying over for sure.
Oh, cool.
And since the other people aren't there, I'm going to help Blur up.
Blur just swats your hand away, gives you a no, and you hear in your head, "No, we should not look like we've talked at all." And he will stand himself up, return to his little bench area, plug himself in, and but right before he does that, he's gonna kind of hold his head and just kind of like scratch at the back of it, like, and your gears are whirring. And he's going to, as he lifts himself up, he's gonna leave 3 more little memory card looking things on the ground and kind of like give you a look and point at them.
I'll go
and then walk over,
Yeah. As slickly as we can do this, I'm going to scoop up all of these cartridges.
You do that.
Yep.
Jax walks up to.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I roll up with Jax.
Yeah, Jax walks up to Blur, puts his hand out, and telepathically says, "Good game," and holds his hand out.
And Blur like looks back at Van and then looks back at you, looks at like, "How can you hear me?"
Oh, I saw that you didn't use your mouth, so I figured I'd have to talk to your head specifically.
This is unlike anything I've ever experienced. Who are you?
I'm Jax.
The name is Blur.
Oh, cool. You're a good fighter.
That is what I was created for.
Ooh, that's so cool. I don't know what I was created for, but hopefully it's something cool.
And across the Coliseum, y'all are just watching Jax stand there, just like big smiles and eyes staring down Blur as Blur is just like,
and
like
it's
his
obvious
face
that
is
he's having a
twisted
conversation.
into-
Like
Yeah.
his eyebrows are moving like he's talking and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know?
and Blur's like his mustache is twisting like just as he is just confused as fuck about what is happening. He will say to Jax, "Are you like me?
I don't know. What are you like?
You bleed what I bleed. Similarly enough, not like them."
And he points towards Van and Heppin, if Heppin is there. Heppin doesn't have to be there.
Yeah, I joined the group. I like go in as nonchalant, like you didn't even know I was gone. That's how I.
Could you possibly just be in the stands, just like sitting?
True. You're right. Literally, y'all didn't even know for a moment.
had no clue.
Yeah. Hep is just by y'all's side. Yeah. Straight up. So
Wow.
he Blur will point at both of them.
Oh, I don't know. I'm different? Is that bad?
No, it makes you special.
Oh, people keep saying that about me. My friends do, at least. Do you want to be my friend?
If you can help me, of course I will be anything you desire.
Whoa. Okay.
As he's speaking this, Van, you're holding the thing?
Which thing? The chips?
Little memory. Yeah, the chips.
Yeah, I've got all the memory chips in one of my hands.
Up until this point, you have heard
All of this?
his side
Of
the
this?
conversation. Not Jax's side.
Right.
But you have heard Blur's side.
Who are you talking to?
And he points forward towards, the little one.
Well,
Wait, real quick, sorry. Clarification. So, Blur, Jax are in one spot. Dream, are you with me or are you over there with them?
I only rolled up with Jax, so I'm right behind Jax,
Yeah.
just kind of watching everything.
Okay, so is Hep right next to me? Just like
That's up to Hep.
whose shadow are you hiding in right now, Hep?
It'd probably be easiest to hide in yours. Whoever is like to the back of people, like least like knowing.
Currently, yeah,
I was
it
just
is- it
wondering
is.
if I noticed Hep yet or not.
Hep, go ahead and make a stealth check for me. Van, what's your passive perception?
But
like a-
17? With a 10?
So
Plus 7?
is passive perception you have a +5 to perception?
Yeah.
So that's a 15, but with advantage, because he has advantage on hearing and smell-based checks, it increases his passive perception by 5.
So
having
20?
advantage.
So I have a 20 passive perception.
Yes.
I made that. Ew.
Thanks, Homer.
So what was your stealth check, Hep?
17.
So I think you may be like orbiting him a little bit as he's turning around. Van, you know that Hep is there. You know that scent very specifically, but you don't have to have done anything up until this point.
Okay, cool.
I think Heppin kind of like, take it however you will, is like thinks they're pretty stealthy right now. Like they're doing the thing.
All right. Well, welcome back, Hep. Kind of.
I never left. What are you talking about, sir?
I'm gonna flavor that a bit of like I sniffed the air like as Hep was getting a little bit closer, like just like, and then
smells like peanut butter. I'm sorry, I couldn't hold that back.
Beautiful. I don't want you to hold those back. Those make me so very happy.
Well, okay. At this point, I'm just gonna walk over there to where everybody else is. I'm gonna move in that direction.
Cool. As y'all begin to crowd a little bit around Blur, Blur is going to speak out to Jackson Van and say, "Give everyone a chip so they can understand me."
Okay, and we'll pass out chips very
Sweet.
Stealthily.
And then all of you will hear in your head as you take these little intricate bronze chips that seem to just faintly glow. As it touches your palm, you hear in your head this voice. You must be careful. The more you play, the more you will become like them. You have already gotten close. And he's going to point at Jax, Heppin, and Van. And it's at this point, Jax, on this side of your hand, on the outside of your hand, there is a smiley face. And right, Van, right on like your like upper thigh, like right above the knee, the little part that's like poking out, there is a smiley face.
What is this?
Can I try and like study it for a sec?
Sure. Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Make a study check. He will say, I have a large range of hundreds of feet on this communication device so that I could be away from my master when needed, but I would not stay here. I would collect your prize. They are usually really good ones. I'm serious. It is not easy to beat me, and they give out really good shit when it comes to beating me.
I'm gonna give guidance to Jax as he studies it.
Sweet. Yeah.
So add a D4?
Yep.
Yes.
19 total.
So it is hard to tell if the mark itself is magical because it doesn't seem to shimmer, it doesn't seem to move, it doesn't shift as you poke it. And as you run it through your processes in your head, you do kind of get this feeling of, well, it definitely wasn't there before, and now he's just told me about it. The thought of curses, the thought of magical effects, you just mind spiked Blur and did something to him. So you know that it is possible to do that without people knowing also, right? Like it is in your purview that such a thing could happen. The trigger of it does seem, based off what he was just saying, to if you take part in these festivities, it seems to happen more. Those are like just a quick little, this is what I think.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah. Jax kind of just pops up and she's like, Is there a way to remove them?
I don't know if they last once you leave out of here, but I am not sure. I have never seen someone come back. I would go quickly to away. He says, before we are noticed sitting around here, we are beginning to become slightly irregular for this area. I would please walk. If you think at me, I can think at all of you. And as this conversation's happening, everyone who has an earpiece has heard the whole thing, like if you're holding it. Yeah.
I guess his little chip, I just kind of inscribe it sort of in my skin. Like I just kind of place it in my and like my hand or something.
Like one of these, like you like tinker for a second and you just like open up a little flap, set it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quickly.
I guess I'll start to walk away.
Well, I'm gonna bend down, and then I'm going to look at Jax. I'm going to hand him the golden ticket.
I think this is yours.
He kind of holds it. He's like, just looks up at Van. He's like, I didn't earn it though.
It's fine. It's a gift.
You kind of see him processing in his head. It's just kind of like a gift. A gift is something given between acquaintances that shows signs of affection. So we're friends? Yes. This is a confirmation of friendship. Thank you for your gift.
Full acceptance so quickly. Yeah, that's mine. Can't have it back, bitch.
And then you kind of see him go, oh, right. And so you see him, he puts the ticket in a pocket, claps his hands together, swings them around, and then a white barrier kind of forms around his body. Sorry. A white barrier forms around his body and then suddenly becomes like translucent. And he essentially just cast mage armor on himself. And he's like, I had an idea. Now it should be harder to stab me.
Y'all see that?
You really are a special little one, aren't you?
Cool. I think, yeah, people keep saying that. Anyways,
As y'all are talking, Blur will have gotten up, and you'll hear in your head, I am going to stand where they will be expecting me. Speak to me if you will have more questions, but I'm going to pretend this has not been happening. And he'll start just walking his way back to his little table outside the Coliseum.
Okay.
I'm gonna take all the books that I got and give them to go fly over to Van and be like, hey, I got these for you.
Heppin just like pulls like books like out of their coat, just like there's like 4 of these other picture books, different circuses throughout the ages, festivals.
Never mind. Come on, not here.
So gonna try and sneak off with Hep.
Satchel him?
Yeah. Well, I just want to sneak off to go like peruse these in the place where we won't be seen.
Oh, okay. There is a little overhang, like in the Coliseum area of like where you could pass through the gates, right? But like you would passing underneath a seat, right? So you, in theory, nothing can see above you, or like you can see your 2 choke points almost. It's like a little hallway.
Okay.
You kind of see Jax kind of pick the ticket out of his pocket and be like, cool, I'm gonna go turn this in. And he just kind of runs.
I just follow after Jack.
Okay, they're running off for prize area?
Mm-hmm. 2 robots just
frolicking, being best friends.
Oh, man.
Hep, was there anything else in this room in the sky?
Did you have a little too much peanut butter, Van?
Oh, do I not know about the room yet? I thought she.
No,
I thought
you
he
do.
Told me. Okay.
I just thought it was really funny. That's room in the sky. You're real stoned. All right. There was a jester uniform. There's this sparkly glove. do a quick little.
Yeah. Like see a dagger, a glove.
And then,
Did you ever show the dagger?
Then there was a
the
painting. There was a picture of some people.
Have you... Do you know who they were?
No.
It said something about being Empire Circus, same thing. And it showed this like beautiful painting of like this like steel curtain, massive area set against a mountain with a giant flag over it. But
no, I didn't. Just there's a picture of that.
What about a way out of here?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe you could bust through the walls of the bedroom, but how in the heck you can't jump? So you're not gonna get up there.
Well, there is another way. However, the entrance is sealed.
Wait, how do you know there's another way?
Well...
Wait, out of here or to the secret room in the sky?
Not to the secret room in the sky. No, forward in the direction we need to be going, Hep. Remember, we are here on a mission.
Oh, yeah. Have you listened to that fancy art the thing yet?
I did.
And in that moment, I'm actually going to turn my attention to try and talk to Blur.
Blur, can you hear me?
I can.
The way to the next area is sealed. How do we get through?
I am devising a plan. There is a service tunnel I usually go to my den in, but they know where it is, so we have to be careful.
What do we do then?
I am working on a plan.
All right. Well, and I know this is like part character, part person. I know that Hep hears this, right? Or does, because everybody hears this logistically? Or
Yeah. And logistically, when y'all speak to Blur and Blur speaks back, anyone holding it hears it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like we have to buy some time for Blur. Maybe we should check on the young one and the robot.
Okay, cool. I'm down for some more hickeys.
Gonna head towards the prize.
God, you are just breaking Roshan left and right, and it's incredible. It's hard to do.
Normally I can go through. There's something about Hep though. I don't know.
I know, dude.
I got a soft spot for
I get
Hep.
it. When we were just RPing whatever Hep was gonna be, it was one of the most fun session zeros I've ever had in my life. Jackson Dream, you run up to the prize area. A massive orange, I think I said orange, a massive orange tent the size of 2 stories rests in front of you. It is like looking at the prize section of a Chuck E. Cheese, except there are clothes, ornate clothes, and promises of all sorts of just incredible stuff behind there. You can see currently there's a little section like a glass case, right, that you can walk up to that has the examples of the prizes. And looking inside this glass case,
Jax is kind of just down on like kind of squat, just hands on the glass, looking at it
yeah.
Wow. Just kind of stuff like that.
Under the small prize ticket section, there is an assortment of these tiny, gooey-looking hands on ropes, a section of this black and white wrapped candy that you do not understand how to read what is on there. There are all different sorts of different colors of different wrappings of candies that are in a different language. Under the good prize section, you see a grouping of like fanciful, noble clothes that are all freshly cut and sewn with patches and sewn back together. There are also an assortment of belts, cufflinks, pants, fancy shirts. Under the great prize section, there is a half oblong, tall, thick black structure sitting there that has an opening at the very bottom where some sort of circular disc seems to be there, and there is an inscription on it that you cannot read. But next to it is an open, plastic-looking case almost with let me Google one thing real quick.
This is key information.
There is a picture of a human woman on the box that seems to be some sort of cartoon, like a render almost. There's an inscription on it, and she is holding, she has like a black armband, gloves, short, spiky, pinkish hair, a long cape behind her, and she is holding some fantastical looking sword in her hand. And there seems to be some other device connected to the black box that has two little joysticks, a X, a square, a triangle, and a circle next to it on one side, and some sort of triggers on the back. And the great prize area says "From the Wasted World," and there are also a section of books there. Someone in like a top hat with like solving mysteries. There seems to be a guitar there. There's like this like old Telecaster with no strings on it. And then in the grand prize section, there are more artifacts from the Wasted World. One seems to be a cube that is like an illusionary cube that on one side, when you look at it, a dark warrior in dark black armor with a red like laser sword is looking out, and then on the other side, a little green creature who is like hands out like a little monk about like the size of like your thumb. And depending on which way you're to look at the cube, as you look left and right, you see either of those like against like a mirror, splitting it down the middle. And then there is the ultimate prize, and all it says is "Return for something incredible."
All this stuff looks so cool.
I hate you right now. I just want you between the
I start eyeballing the thing from the Wasted World that has the X, circle, triangle, square, and the triggers on it. I just eyeball it like heavy, like I'm like just I don't know, thinking of different.
Yeah. And it does, as you look at it, it has some sort of cord,
what color is
like
it?
a cord out the back. This is all like dark gray, right? Like dark black, dark gray. Same as the little like controller looking thing that's sitting there. You've used sorts of controllers and joysticks and handles for machineries and stuff that you've made, so you can kind of assume like that's a joystick, like that's something. It's tiny though, and it looks like it fits in both hands. And there are cords going out.
Real quick for the like visual people for this, just because it's super ironic that this is.
That's literally what you see. Because I'm done being coy, there's a PS3 sitting there with Final Fantasy 13.
Okay,
this is the best part. I knew that you were referencing something, but I'm not. I don't play video games, so I didn't know what it was.
I was trying to.
I was just fucking dying.
Also,
I was honestly sitting here trying to figure out like if there was a PS4 there, like what kind of controller we got going on.
It's a PS3 with the banana controller, the original. Somehow, I don't even know if those got printed, but it's canon that in this version of Earth, they went with it. The internet never freaked out about it. And on top of that, the little cube is this old... At Taco Bell, they had like Star Wars stuff, I think, or McDonald's, and one of the toys you could get was like this like weird box that you could look into. One side was Darth Vader, the other side was Yoda. So that's literally sitting there, though none of you two recognize exactly what that is.
Yeah.
On the counter, there's a little bell.
I look at it and then I look at Jax and say, "What looks interesting to you?"
Oh, I don't know. All of this stuff looks so cool. I don't know. It's just like, wow. It's a lot. It's kind of overloading.
And you
overwhelming.
Hear, "Did you win a prize?" And over the desk, stomping down, a huge gargoyle woman wearing a short-brimmed, clothy, gigantic hat over her head, two wings on her back. Her wow, I'm burping a lot. Her, she is covered in like really fanciful, beautiful, stitched up royal clothing to each ankle and each wrist. And she leans over and is like, "Got a ticket?"
Yeah.
Give it to me, thank you.
Okay.
And she swipes it, and she there's a little device behind her, and you see above that there's all these intricately like weaving tubes. Van, you're also making your way over there, right? Same with Heppin. She puts the gargoyle lady puts the ticket into a tube, and it shoots up into the inner reaches of the tent that you cannot see, and then you hear this like clicking noises of gears turning and spinning, and then shooting out, rolling out, ding, a little glass orb about the size of a fist, translucent and beautiful, rests in this little at the end of this tube. She picks it up, she hands it out. Ultimate prize. Be careful with it.
Jax kind of looks at it, picks it up, looks at all the other cool stuff. He's like, "This is an ultimate prize."
Yeah. And she's just like, she has not blinked this entire time. She's giving you the same vibe and look that Kestra did. Big smile. You're gonna love it. Everyone does. That's the only one of those we've ever given out.
Oh, cool.
If I'm being honest, I have no idea what that is, but I know that the ultimate prizes, only 4 have ever been won.
I'll talk to Jax and say, "May I see that really quickly?"
Sure. Yeah. Here.
And can I use identify?
Yes, you can.
That's a spell slot. Boom.
If you cast it in a minute, but you could take an extra 10 minutes to cast it as a ritual, which would not use a spell slot, and it would take 11 minutes to cast.
Let me just do that then.
Okay.
Let me just take
so
11
you will,
minutes.
Specifically begin concentrating on it for the next 10 minutes.
It just for the, I don't know, RP of it, I'm like just holding it, and it sort of just kind of and like goes deeper into my hand,
and then little like,
and that's just I'm just
little like
RPing it.
like little like tensor things come out and start like poking it a little bit, you know? Yeah, you're giving it the full once over.
Yeah.
And she's
just for visuals,
standing there, and at this point, I think Heppin and Van walk over.
Sup? What prizes are you getting?
It was just a ball. It didn't even look like it bounced.
While I'm doing the ritual?
Yeah, you could talk a little bit for sure. You do have to. If you try to do anything else strenuous, it will not work. It will drop.
Okay.
But like I want my characters to RP, so for sure.
Yeah, word.
Oh yeah. Van, I also
I'm
found
seeing what
this
it does
thing,
now.
and I'll like show him the yellow rock.
Put it away.
Just under my breath.
Yeah, and the gargoyle is still just like for a visual, if anyone's seen the show Gargoyles, like that old show, she looks like the hot one-winged woman. I think that's one of them. Like she was hot. What do you want from me? She was. You all know that they could get it. They were dope.
We'll unpack this.
Yeah, therapy session after. And she's just like big smiles, like looking at each one of you.
Just not in front of the workers.
I don't think they're actually alive.
What?
And as you say that, she doesn't seem to make a single, like, it does not face her. Her face is the exact same, and she's just like nodding and like really intense. You got any more prizes?
See? Hey, lady, what's going on here? Hey, what's up?
Hello, I'm Sashel. I'm here for the prizes.
Are you alive?
Yeah. And she's just nodding and like really intense, leaning over.
What do you do for fun?
I
What do I do for what?
What do you do when you're not here?
What do you,
See, they're just animated. Whatever sort of mumbo jumbo's in the air, you don't care what we say. Are you like hive mind connected to something up there?
And you see like a couple beads of sweat start dripping down her forehead from underneath the hat, and one or two of them, as they're dripping down, are a little bit gooier and thicker than the others.
You have prizes? I take tickets. So, your royals and tickets, Festmaster Noth, you get it.
I think Heppin has a point. Everyone seems a little clueless. Or
Really? I couldn't tell. This isn't how people are?
No.
not most people.
Oh, I haven't met most people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess
Jax?
I'll look over and I'll be like, I'll say, what is that rock? I don't know. You pulled out the
yellow stone.
Yeah, the stone.
You want us to find out?
Give me a moment.
Okay.
Jax will try to telepathically communicate to the gargoyle lady, being like, boing, like, are you okay?
You hear...
Jax's face goes,
Yeah, until I would assume that is continuing until
break the connection.
Yeah, you break the connection and it stops.
I kind of just grab on Van's cloak and kind of like tug at it.
What's the matter, Jax?
She's screaming on the inside.
And she's just leaned forward
Oh,
like...
we all are, Jax. We all are. Welcome to the world, buddy. Haven't lived quite long enough, huh?
Oh. What?
I'll talk to Blur really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Blur, are you there?
I am here.
Do all the workers have voice chips?
No, I do not interact with them. I am not sure what is going on. They give me the creeps.
I ask him, do you scream on the inside all the time too?
I do not understand. Are you interacting with the workers?
You told us to get a prize.
We're at the grand prize.
I did not say to talk to them specifically. I would be careful. They give me the creeps.
Do they like have hive? Can you like communicate with them too telepathically?
I have never tried, nor will I ever.
Alrighty.
All I
Thank you
know
for-
is that when we make stops, since I woke up, my memory is a little bit on the fuzzy side. I have recently taken back actions of my own in the past 2 months, and I have been hiding out. What I do know is that when we make stops, the nobles come through here, play games, and I never see them again. But the workers have never changed. Never had to do that voice for that long. That was interesting.
It's a good robot voice. Oh my
Yeah. Wait. Whoa, hold on. What do you mean you never see the royals again? Like like you don't see them, like they walk off the ship and you don't see them, or like they play a game and then you don't see them?
They get their smiles, they have a happy time, and then they go forward through the north gate and are never to return. I have no idea. You are the first people who I have seen who do not seem susceptible to what is happening, even though you do have some markings on you.
How many markings do the royals have before you don't see them anymore?
Usually at 5, they sit down and smiling.
And what about your plan, Blur?
if you're fucking with the creepy one, we may need to book it soon. And it's at that moment, you hear over your shoulder, hello, as now standing behind you, Kestra is standing, arms folded into her sleeves, smiling, with her giant billowing hat, and she's like, is there a problem here?
No, not at all. We were just getting our grand prize.
Has it been 10 minutes yet?
I don't think so, right? Because it's all just been kind of talking.
Maybe close, but not
Yeah,
quite.
it's been 10 minutes. I'm the dungeon master.
Yes,
It works.
yes, I am.
Yeah, it's been 10 minutes, and at this point, you have in your hands a crystal ball of mind reading. You you know that this is a wondrous item, legendary, requires attunement. It is one of a set of 3. There are only 3 like it, like 3 total like it on the planet of Karth. You also know how to use it, I'm pretty sure, from Identify and what created it, basically. It was created by the dimension. It was created using the dimension of divination, very specifically. It's about 6 inches in diameter. While touching it, if you are attuned, you can cast the scry spell with it at will, as many times as you want.
As many times?
That's what it does.
Oh my
On
God.
top of that, you can use an action to cast when you're scrying. You can cast the Detect Thoughts spell while you are scrying with the crystal ball, targeting creatures you can see in the scry within 30 feet of the spell's sensor. You do not need to concentrate on this Detect Thoughts to maintain it, but it ends if the scrying ends.
Wow. I
You hold
hand
something
over
extremely precious.
I hand that right back to Jax
Yeah.
and say, "This is a really special item."
Really? This dumb-looking ball?
Can I telepathically kind of tell him everything it does?
Technically, I can mind link with 2 people at a time, and I don't think I've ever canceled the mind link with Dareem.
You blurred,
Yeah, I'm gonna
though.
say-
You've done Dareem, Blur, and now Sashal, so you had to cancel with somebody.
Right, but so that would have been a cancel with Van.
Gotcha,
to
so
then
Dareem
use
is just up.
I mean, if he can't do it, I'll just be like, I don't know,
You
just,
give him
try
a
to talk
nod.
to him in the head.
You give Jax a nod.
Just, what's up?
Yeah.
Alright. So wait, can you hear me?
Yeah. Y'all can hear each other.
Oh, okay, cool.
You can tell him what it does, and that it does require attunement,
Yeah.
which instinctively, Jax, you know what that means.
Okay, so it's not like a dumb ball. Jack's is kind of holding it, and he's kind of looking at it, and he's kind of like, do you want it, Dareem?
If you don't want it,
I'm
would-
like, it's cool. But those sticky hand things look way cooler than this thing.
True.
well, it is your ticket.
Here, this is my gift to you.
Aw.
Oh,
He gives you the crystal ball of mind reading.
thank you.
You can add
As
that
a
to your
sign of
inventory.
friendship.
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
do it if that doesn't happen. Van, looking over the prizes at all, you see Tootsie Rolls and Laffy Taffy, and you can read all of those. That's what we're in. Just so you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because they're in English, you can read them.
Okay, cool. But hold on, but Kestra's there,
Kestra's
right
standing
there.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Kestra. Do we know their names?
Hello,
Are they the one that...
Sashel. I'm Kestra. Yes, hello.
Hi, how are you? We're doing good. Thanks for this wonderful carnival. We're just hanging out, getting our prize.
Such a fun time.
Yeah. Thanks for everything. How are you
Thank
today?
you for everything. I'm great.
yeah?
I'm Kestra.
Kestra?
I'm so good.
Cool.
How are you doing, sweet royal?
I'm doing wonderful. I am a sweet, sweet, sweet royal.
Sweet royal.
We're doing great. Thanks for checking
Great.
up on us. I hope you have a wonderful day. We're just hanging out. We're gonna walk around, continue the rest of our adventures.
Awesome. Make sure to eat some food, have some fun, ride some rides. While you're here, stay inside. A sweet time at the fest time. You get it. And she'll just kind of like wave at you and start walking back towards her prize area.
As she's walking away.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, go. Yeah. You can yell at her too. Stop her.
I break the mind link with Sashel and make one with Kestra. Stop. I break it. Yeah.
God.
I start it up again. Stop it. I start it up again. I stop it. Jax looks deeply disturbed.
Kestra,
Yes.
how was your day yesterday?
And she just smiles, blank face. And her face begins to strain, and the muscles begin to constrict a little bit as she tries to process this thought, and little beads of sweat start dripping from underneath her hat as a couple of them are just a little thicker and like a strand of goo.
Are you all right?
Days! I can answer questions for sure. That's what I will do.
Do they have necklaces on like the guy that was in the shack in the place?
There are. Go ahead and make a perception check. Van, go ahead and make one too.
Ooh, 6.
Specifically for what you're schmelling.
What is my...
So at advantage. Yeah.
I got a 9 total.
A 9.
Yeah.
Is that perception? I got a 14 total.
So there are no necklaces that you can see around their necks at all. They do all seem to have large, wild clothes on, like head to toe with these big old floppy hats. The smell, very like royal, regal clothes. With a 9, I'd say that's basically all you get. Van, as you're looking over, the smell that you get, there's something beyond the smell of perfume that Kestra just wafts this over-the-top, ridiculous perfume just plastered all over.
Mm-hmm.
There's something beyond it that reminds you of something, but you cannot place it.
Okay. Can I, with that 14, can I kind of gauge where it's coming from?
It seems to be coming from Kestra, but with the 14, the person that is Kestra, that's about it.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Got you. Did I notice the slightly thicker sweat?
Everybody that was looking at her as she's straining her face and her muscles seem to be constricting more so than most creatures you've ever, like even someone deep in thought, like these muscles are tensing, and everybody kind of saw like a little drop of like the goo because it's a little darker than sweat.
Okay, cool. Then in this brief 6 seconds, I'm gonna dash and snatch her hat.
Okay. So everybody, what you see as days, I definitely notice. Van just dashes forward and lithely grabs at the hat, the front of the brim, and he is behind her. How far do you want to go?
Let's like 5 feet past her. I'm just trying to snatch it and then just
You're
kinda
doing, again, the anime where you just like, you're behind her and you are sheathing the sword, you know? Like, you're behind her, snag the hat off, and underneath her head stops at the brim of where the hat was. The top half of her head is carved out, gone, the skull completely gone, as a little brain creature, much like the tuxedo people you saw before, sits up, and its little mouth screams at you. And everybody roll initiative!
That's the Men in Black! Like, dead guy dead on the table and the alien man pops out of the old man's face.
It's a 13 for me.
I knew this shit was gonna get weird.
14.
20.
I have 14 too.
We're at the top of initiative. Jax, what is your dexterity?
12.
Then the gargoyle woman, Sashel, will, leaning forward on the desk, Sashel will stand straight up stiffly, their eyes rolling into the back of their head as you hear as popping out the hat from on top of Sashel's head pops off as this brain with arms and legs, claws on the end, just bursts out and looks at y'all. No eyes on its person, but its little mouth just... And who is standing nearest to the desk?
Maybe me.
Like Jackson Dareem?
Jackson Dareem.
Yeah.
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 High or low?
Because I'm all
I'm
all the way
roll.
back.
High.
What's her name?
Okay, you said high. Then it will turn towards Dareem, and it will just jump forward out of the body as the body crumples to the ground, and tendons and connected tissue that it was sitting and melded with just snap one by one as the body falls limp. It jumps and claws at you. Does a wow, 24 hit.
No. Yeah, it does.
Strange thing about being an artificer, 24s don't hit.
Yeah,
23,
just 24s.
25?
Yeah, but for some reason 24.
24. Hey, check the rule
It's
book.
in
It's
there,
in there.
you know?
I don't make the rules, honestly.
So it'll jump on you. It'll land on your back and just start swiping, and it only does 5 points of damage. Your AC is 17? 16? So there was no way for you to, to shield this potentially? I'm just triple checking. And then you will hear this sound in your head as it claws at you. And I would like you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Word. 12.
Word. 12. As this feeling takes over your brain, you just shrug it off. No effect, as it is Jax's turn.
Jack, seeing his friend being attacked by this monster, he's just like, get off my friend! And I don't know, what would Jax do? He kind of overcompensates in this moment, and you see his hands kind of glow, and then his hands kind of glow, and a rune shapes in between them and with the symbol of evocation, and then 3 blasts of fire shoot out in front of him, and I'm casting Scorching Ray.
Okay, you do that. What do I have to do?
I'm making attack rolls.
Yeah.
So it's 3 blasts, each one's a d20, and if they hit, or a spell attack roll, if they hit, they do 2d6 fire damage.
Do these count as ranged? Are you right next to him?
It would be ranged. I guess I am within 5 feet.
That's up to you. I mean, y'all could have been across the desk. I can call you 10. I don't really care. Whatever you feel, your RP heart.
I feel like Jax was a little far away.
Yeah, you're
All
10
right.
feet. 10. You're you split the difference between them almost, where you're 15 feet from one, 15 feet from another.
Gotcha. And and I'm gonna Scorching Ray this thing. And the first one is a miss with an 8 to hit.
That does miss.
Second one is a natural 1, and that misses.
Oh no.
And then the third one, another 2. Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
This took a turn.
You can try to see Jack's just complete panic, overcompensating,
Yeah.
and the beams just go completely wide, and fire shoots into the carnival at large, you know?
Jack's learning about failure real quick.
Crash course.
Just got slapped in the face by failure.
Welcome to reality, buddy. Heppin, is your turn.
I would then
If you have,
Yeah.
go for it.
Jax kind of just like moves towards Van for safety.
True. Van is currently holding the hat 5 feet behind the brain creature, so
He moves like in that direction, then sees him in combat. It's like,
Yeah.
and he kind of stops in between in the middle of everything. Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. Do I know what my purple? I don't know what that purple dagger does that I got from the.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna go. How close am I? To?
You are within your movement speed to either, for sure. Like, because it's 30 feet to get there, and like, there's one's 15 feet, one's probably 15 feet. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's kind of in a dashable range, or
I'm gonna
a
go to
movable
the
range.
closer one.
I think the closer one is the one that is currently attacking Dareem.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm gonna go to the one that's attacking them, and
Okay.
I'm gonna fly above them,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna take the dagger, and I'm just gonna stab into the top of the brain.
Sweet.
Nice.
I have a mechanical question real quick. Does something, Skylar, do you know if something that requires attunement, is it a +1 no matter what? Or is it only a +1 if it's attuned? Do you know what I'm saying?
Typically, it's only a +1 if it's attuned, if it has an attunement requirement. Most normal magic weapons, though, like a basic magic weapon, doesn't require attunement. But like,
I was just wondering on that. Then you are swinging with a normal dagger.
it's still magical.
Yes.
But it does. You don't get the bonus to hit or damage.
So you're making a dagger attack with your
Yes.
main
Okay.
action.
Third
And a
plus.
Oh, go for it.
It's plus a dagger, whatever my attack is.
Dex plus proficiency.
Imagining it's a +6.
3.
Dex mod plus your prof mod, which is
2, 5.
so 5. So +5, so
18 total.
18 total hits. You stab into this little brain thing as it's clawing down, and it's starting. Its mouth has drooped open, and a little drool has come out of it as it's just staring down Dareem in the back of Dareem's head. As it's like it's looking at it, and you stab it right in the side. Daggers are 1d4.
Oh, yeah.
You do get sneak attack for this.
Yeah, you do.
So is that double?
So that's 2d6 in addition to your d4.
2d6 plus a d4. Oh, hold on a second.
Oh, rogue.
I rolled 10 on the sneak attack. And
Okay.
then 4 on the...
Okay. 14 plus 3.
Yeah.
So in your first attack, you do 17 damage. Every time I think,
Love rogues, man. Love
did
them.
I make things too strong in my world? Are my poor little creatures ever going to be able to beat anything? Y'all just attack. And I go,
Love a
no.
rogue.
Player
Players are broken, dude.
Yeah, dude, bro. You busted. Cool. That was a dagger, and it just... And it looks at you and... it does say that. And it's just... And it is still technically up.
Dope. I'm going to take out on my bonus action. I'm
Yeah.
going to take my short sword.
Yeah.
And can I, like, attempt to stab through it and then pry it out of their skull?
It is leapt out of the skull that it was in, and that body is the gargoyle is crumpled on the floor. It's just on Dareem's back, but you can try and skewer it into the air.
I'm gonna skewer it in
Make
the
an
air.
attack roll.
11 plus 5, 15.
That hits.
Yeah, let's go. This one, what's my short sword?
A D6.
A D6.
Plus one. It is a plus one. Yeah.
Ooh, 3 plus, so a 6 plus 1 is what you're, right? Because it's a D6 plus 3.
No
Plus one?
plus 3 on your bonus action attack. So just the dice plus 1.
Because offhand attacks, unless you have a specific fighting style from the fighter or ranger, does not get to add your ability modifier to damage, which is your dexterity modifier.
Yeah. That's what that plus 3 is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
okay, then
3 plus 1.
3. 4.
That was 21 damage at level 3 in 1 turn.
Yeah, so you and Hep, let's just paint a picture of the amazing peanut butter loving Hep. Hep does what Hep does, and I will always say that Hep just deftly, person I'm with, I think they maybe my friend. I don't know. They in trouble though. I don't like that fucking thing. And just double skewers it and lifts it into the air as it and it lays limp.
Dope.
Yeah. Say,
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hep.
Those have
Thank you,
21
Heppin.
HP. Holy shit. So you did that.
Just
This could have gone much different, but it is Van's turn.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna drop the hat. Since that thing's fucking gross. Before my free action, just trying to talk to Blur.
We're gonna need that plan quicker.
And then I'm going to run
What have you
towards.
done?
Already running towards brain
You're
thing,
next to it.
which is
Because
it's right next to
the
me,
one
right?
that's left is the hat that you took off originally.
Right, got you. So never mind. I'm gonna turn to it. I'm gonna leap in the air a reasonable amount for myself. I would like to attempt to. Is there a wall within 5 feet of me?
You are in the middle of, from what I understand, the Coliseum is like 40 feet north of you. South is the prize tent, so like you're kind of out in the open a little bit, like you're in the walkway area.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. Totally fine. So I jumped and did like a tiny like baby front flip. And I'm coming down with an axe kick on top of this brain, and I'm trying to shove action it into the dirt.
It's in the body, so you're trying to put it deeper into the body with the shove action?
Fine. Then
Trying to break the body, dude.
No, I will retcon that a little bit. I'll try and veer it to the
Punt it out of it?
I'm trying to punt it out onto the ground, but I want it to be a shove because I want it to be I want to try and knock it prone.
Make a. I don't remember what shove actions are.
So I have to do
Athletics?
Hold on. No, I do an acrobatics because I can choose.
No. Wait, are you sure you could choose or the person you're doing against can choose? I think it's you athletics, then acrobatics or athletics.
Oh, I think it's. Is it whatever you're better at?
No,
I guess.
I'm pretty sure that is it like a grapple?
Instead of making an attack roll, you make a strength athletics check contested by the target's athletics or
so the target is the one that gets to
acrobatics.
choose. You just use athletics. Yeah.
Got you. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna do that.
What'd you get?
What'd you
get? Hey, I'm the DM. What'd you get?
Fine, I got a 21.
With a natural 1.
What'd you get?
With a bonus of a +2, which is the dex. So a 2, a 3 total.
Beat it by
It
like
just
6 times, 7 times.
Yeah, it looks over. You just punt it into the air as it. How far can you shove?
5 feet.
So
That's
basically what happens but you can knock it prone while doing this. Is that the whole point? So basically what happens, like a punter or a goalie kicking a ball away, you just rear up, kick it fucking sky high as it just slats onto the ground.
Nice.
Just like, and it is laying on the ground.
Does it take any fall damage?
It doesn't, because that was all flavor, and I knew you were gonna ask that. Yeah, I knew you were gonna ask that, and I was like, no. That's just a shove. You don't get fall damage for that. You're murdering these. You're fine. That's your action.
Is it still alive?
Yeah, that's my action. And then we'll just chill there, man. Fuck it. I'm standing, waiting.
Okay.
Let's go.
So you can still use a bonus action to make, like, you don't have to flurry of blows to do 2, but since you used your action to make an attack and you substituted the...
You can just bonus action attack.
Yeah, you can just bonus act as part of your martial arts thing. You can just throw punches and stuff.
So you could have flicked up, kicked it in the air, and then brought the other heel down on it on the ground.
Could do some real stuff, man.
Let's slightly time freeze for a second and hit the ground. I'm still in the air.
Yeah, you are.
I still got hang time. And then I'm coming down. Body's coming forward now, and the fist is coming down to just slam
you Demon
into
Slayer,
it. I hope I don't miss.
you Jujutsu Kaisen triple spin in the air. You know how like they'll like hang and then make it at advantage because it is prone.
Nice.
Just cause.
That's how it be.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I've already hit, but just in case. A 21. Does
Seems
that hit?
to hit the squishy little brain thing.
Nice. For 5 damage.
5 damage. Yeah, you squish down onto it and it just...
Do I get any like juices or anything on my hand? Is it like juicy?
It is like punching the inside of a watermelon, like as hard as you can, and just like hardened bits, like seeds. They're not seeds, but like hardened, crusty bits. Everybody's face splashing into your face is just against the mask. Did you put the mask back on? Yeah.
The mask is on.
This like gooey, thick across the face as it shakes on the ground.
Gotcha. So like you can't see it because the mask is on, but I'm definitely making a face underneath. It's like, oh, gross.
That happens.
Yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna do any movement, and so I think that's all my stuff.
Then y'all beat Sashel. So then it is that little brain person's turn. It's going to honestly probably attack you. Grabbing onto your arm. It's going to take its movement action to stand up essentially, right? But it's going to flavorly grab onto your arm as you punch down into it, claw down, and make a claw attack against you.
Okay.
Does a 17 hit?
Is it meets beats? Because I'm at 17.
Beats it.
I don't. Yeah, so no, it doesn't hit.
Meets it,
bitch.
beats it. It meets
If
it.
Yeah, it hits.
6 damage as it claws into you. And then as it doesn't have eyes, but as it claws down, seeking its claws into you, it's the front of its brain, basically like if a body doesn't have a head and it's all shoulder and a hump, whatever that hump in the middle turns towards you and makes eye contact with you through your mask for a second, and you hear make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. 11.
Beats it.
Let's go, baby.
You just stare into it as the sound in your head. How do you shake this off?
The don't is happening, and you. It says like, is it like wrapped
It's got
around
like
my
claws
hand
and
right
it's
now?
just like scraping at you. Like, so its legs are wrapped around the upper part of your arm, right? As it's just like, and then it like turns over towards you. Yeah.
Cool. So not doing damage, but I'm going to press it harder into the ground and just whisper to it. Not this time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's on the ground. Your fist is just clawing it down as you got it pinned and prone, more or less. I mean, it's like, I get it. It's all good. It is not technically prone anymore because of rules, but it uses its, so it gets up and it's there, blah, blah, blah. And, the only thing that you just realized that you saw it, you kind of blocked out for a second. When you punted it out of this shimmering golden Tot's body, the flakes of skull, tendons stretched and snapped in a moment as it left out of whatever hold it had on this poor body.
Okay.
It is Sashel's turn. They're dead. It is Jax's turn.
Isn't Sashel dead?
Dareem went. Did I
No, I
skip
never
Dareem?
went.
Oh.
I had a 13.
Dareem was better than Castra, so it's your turn. My beat.
Oh, well, that's cool. I guess I just how far away is
This is
Castra from-
20 feet away from you.
All right, I'll just use Firebolt.
Yeah.
Right there.
Technically, it is not on the ground, so it would not be a disadvantage. Bolt.
Bolt.
Not,
Okay.
not
Just
bolt.
bolt,
Not
man.
bolt.
Just
no.
bolt. I'm only aiming it at the thing.
Very different.
I'm right there.
Firebolt. Just the bolt. It's cool. We're good, bro.
All right.
Could my servant also cast Firebolt if I tell him? Because it's his turn next.
He can only cast spells with a range of touch.
Oh, I see.
Is he out and
Okay.
just floating around you right now?
Yeah, he's just been around.
Sweet.
Like since I brought him
he
out,
will go
he's just
directly
been
after you. He does have an attack action.
He has a range. I think in a range
Yeah.
attack or something. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'll just use Firebolt. Nyonk. Well, I don't think that hits, but a 10.
A 10 misses.
I break my gaze with the thing just to look
A
over.
streak of searing energy just like right past both of you and into the concrete below.
Don't worry, I wasn't gonna hit you.
That's your action. Bonus action.
That's my
You
action.
can command
yeah.
it to attack.
I'll just have it attack at him.
Sweet. It kind of mimics exactly like however your stance was for your firebolt, right? As you like
I just did
put the thing. Yep.
a.
Load the shotgun that is your arm as your wrist opens up as you fire out that energy. Almost in the air.
That is-
Little chef man with a little spinning helicopter. He just like pew, and he shoots off one that just roll another ranged attack.
27.
27 to hit. The little chef. What'd you roll? Did you roll a 20?
Yeah, hold on.
You said my intelligence,
Not all
right?
of your intelligence. Your modifier,
Oh,
the
I'm
plus
tripping.
number.
So that's an
I'm
intelligence
sorry.
saving throw, what you roll?
Yeah, I was looking at saving.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah.
bad.
But it's still the same bonus that your spell attack is?
Yeah, technically. So
yeah.
so plus
that's-
7. So roll a
sorta-
d20 add plus 7.
He did.
Well, that's what I
What'd
did.
you
It
get?
was 25.
Oh, okay. Well, you got a 20.
Plus my proficiency is 2.
Oh, that includes your proficiency. You don't have to add it another time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then 25.
Yeah,
My
it is
bad. Sorry,
no,
guys.
you're
Hey,
good. You're good.
My bad.
You're
You're
5. You're actually.
Oh, just kidding. 25, not 27. Just 25.
Yeah, my bad, dude. I didn't know that would really strike you
By
guys
the way,
as heavy. So
You could hit a
25.
27 if you rolled a natural 20. I'm just going to throw that out there. It's
true.
That's
dang.
ridiculous. And the little chef man flying around you with the face of a sad boy. I'm pretty sure if it's modeled after who I think it's modeled after.
It is, yeah,
It
yeah.
just fires off. Go ahead and roll a d4 and add +2 to it. Your proficiency bonus.
Oh, 3.
3 damage. It just strikes into the little brain as it squishes another burst of squishy, crusty, gooey innards all over Van, this time along his neck and chest. I'm so happy.
Disgusting.
You did 3 damage?
Yeah.
That is both of your turns.
Yeah.
Top of the order, Jax it is.
Jax just kind of mimics what he sees Dareem doing, and kind of like, while he doesn't like, he kind of just goes, but nothing moves, but still fire shoots out of his hand, and he casts Firebolt.
So now in triple succession, Dareem loads an orb into his arm socket, cocks it like a shotgun, holds his hand out, he shoots. Then the little flying chef man does the same thing, and then Jax, like some weird triple Pokemon like attack order, just is like, okay, and then like holds his arm out, just goes with his mouth as he moves his arm. But there's a red like orb just encased in his palm that lights up, and Force just fires forward.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay. Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, 2d10 of fire damage.
What?
Yeah.
Because that's a crit.
Yeah,
right?
so you double your die.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
D10, so that's 8 fire damage. I did
8
not
total?
roll exceptionally well. Yeah, only 8.
Cool. It just as another firebolt, this time
flames,
actually
right?
landing on the target, another spray of more goo and just gunk just all over Van as you're just holding it down. You're like, oh.
My free hand is gonna try like one quick swipe across my mask.
It's like one of those like you thought you had it and then like you spray it off, you swipe it off and then more.
Perfect.
Jax, is that your turn? You got a bonus? You got movies?
Yeah, no, that's all he's gonna do. He's gonna move back towards Heppin and Dareem, just because it's safe over there now.
Yeah. Next up is Van.
Okay, cool. Can I punt this thing? Like,
Doesn't Heppin go before
Like,
Van?
Hep.
oh wait, no, yeah.
is
no,
I
for
was saying
next.
Heppin
Thank
saved
you.
me.
There's so much going on. I'm having too much fun. I have a literal
Stop,
list.
Sam.
You know
Stop
what?
having
I'm
fun.
going
I
to
literally have a list that says Jax, Hep, Van, Dareem, and I can't read. So, yeah, Hep,
Nice.
yes, it is your turn.
Okay, there's one left,
One's dead, one's left.
and I still have one skewer. Do I have enough room on my short sword to skewer another
You
one?
can certainly try.
I'm just going, all right, let's go for the kebab. And just I'm gonna like
zoom over
I'm
there?
like,
Yeah.
like jousting style. Like I'm like I have like my sword at the ready, and I'm like I like Hep like makes
Oh,
a
you're, like,
scene,
rushing over.
and I go over and I mime out like my horse, and I like go step up on my horse.
You in the air, your head wings correcting you as your wings flutter on the back. You imaginary get your leg over a horse, hold your short sword under you, still holding the brain with the dagger, also skewered on both of them to keep it in place, and you just and fly yourself forward towards this brain.
Oh, 11, let's go. 11 plus 5. 16.
You definitely hit it. How much damage? You get sneak attack because it's the first turn.
So 3d6.
Yeah.
Yay!
Glass cannons.
Just wait till
ropes.
level 5, then they can use a reaction to half damage.
Yeah.
And then at level 7, when they get evasion.
11 total.
Just
I
off
mean-
of your arm. Oh, actually, Hep, how would you like to skewer this thing? It is very
Ooh.
dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Remember, it's on my hand. Please
Oh,
be
it's on your hand?
So he has it like.
I thought you.
So
I thought
he's
you
on the
skipped it off.
ground, and it has crawled up his arm a little bit as it's like as it was clawing at him. Then it got shot, sprays everywhere, but it is like slowly falling off in the slow motion as you come zooming in.
I feel like aren't I like positioned like you would in like Charlie Brown when you're like holding the
a little
football?
bit.
I feel like I'm kind of in a similar like pose
am I
there,
able to
just,
like
holding it
am
up.
I able to just like shout like Van, put him in there?
Yep, you do that.
I'm gonna chuck it in the air. Then.
Toss! Yeah, toss. You just kind of give it a whoo, 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 and you throw it into the air as it just spins ass over head, which you can't tell the difference. Arms flailing up into the air. As
Nice.
Heppin just comes in and skewers it onto it as it falls over dead limp on your short sword. You have 2 brain creatures, which are very heavy, but you've got it double-handed, 1 dagger into 1, and they are both dead.
They're both dead?
They seem very dead.
Dope. I put the other dagger in my belt
Yep.
it. I don't know, in my pocket.
There was a sheath on it, so you could sheath it back and then put
I
it in your
sheath
belt.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is at this point you hear, oh, and as you all turn around, the third person had just finished running up. The third person that you had not met yet. He stands there, and from his large, oversized hat, it pops off, and the little brain creature just snaps itself out and runs away from you as fast as it possibly can.
May I
I
make
know. I knew that this is what was going to happen. So it is going to spend its actions, dash action, and movement to run so far away. Its movement is 40 feet. So dash action, it's 80 feet, and it is just gone off into the distance. And it's at this point, Van.
It does 150 feet.
smelling the smell that I'm very acquainted with at this point, coming from a different direction, seeing everything explained, I rear up in my pose, just both feet prepped, fists on the ground, and then just from a sprinting lunge, just dash 100 and however many fucking feet I need to catch this brain.
So you can go 180 feet.
Yes,
and
I
you
can.
get to move all of that in the scope of your turn. And you can break that up.
Yes, I do.
So he only dashed 80 feet away. Isn't that correct?
Correct. It's
Yeah,
also
said
to
80.
go that far would require an action and a bonus action to make all of that.
He action
movement work.
dashes, which gets him to 90. And because of his thing, he can double his movement for the turn.
Right.
So that's 180.
Wouldn't he just be able to just double his movement and take a normal move action and then get there and then still have an action to attack?
Yes, he would.
I would like to do that.
I was going to say, in theory, if there was a way you could get there, use this, grapple it, and then get back. I didn't know if that was possible. Because that's what I was going with it. Because he's 90 feet away. You could go 90 feet to it, grab it, and then 90 feet back to everybody.
But I would have to stop for a second.
This
I know,
all
'cause I'm not
counts in your turn. So it...
One
Yeah,
breath.
Oh yeah, bet. All right, cool. Yeah, no, I'm doing that. I'm going to do all of that and then action attempt to grapple this
90
thing.
feet, you are... And in the slow motion moment, as it's just like running, hands up, just this bunny man runs up beside it.
His body was looking this way, but his head was looking this way.
And you are in front of it, and you try to pick it up. You're the fucking Flash.
Oh, I really am, but this roll not the best. It's gonna be an 8 total.
Yes.
Yes. Tell me.
Yes.
Plus 2. That's a 6, my friends.
Let's go!
He's like,
Got it.
dancing back and forth for a second as it skids to a stop, and it tries to, and you just. Oh yeah. What you doing?
Wait. Hold on. I think you win. I'm not trying to like take away from my glory, but I rolled.
But you rolled an 8.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I rolled an 8. Sorry,
Yeah.
never mind. Continue my glory.
In this moment, you just kind of swerve around as it's like, as you scoop it up and then dash. Where would you like to end? In the same, you're the fucking Flash. What the fuck? Would you like to be back where you were?
I would. I'm just thinking about how I'd like to do it.
Jackson, Dareem, and Hep are roughly, Hep's a little up in the sky, like 20 feet off, but Jackson and Dareem are standing together. That's the area
Next to
back.
each other.
Yeah.
So when I grabbed him in this, it was so nonchalant because it almost looked like a basketball player at practice because I'm doing suicides with this thing. I dashed that way, scooped it, just immediately got back into position, and then going as close back to the group as I can.
But you get there. You get literally back to the group. You can end up, I'm pretty sure, in front of Jackson Dareem.
Then that's where I am.
And standing there
and
with
that's
the
where
present,
I will be.
holding out this little brain creature. It's there. Yeah.
Can I skewer that one?
Palming it.
And
Oh god.
because it is 4v1, I don't think it'll get a turn by the time it goes back to it. All of you just
There's the screen cut, and then it's the Persona 5 like epic finish.
And then Heppin comes down and bringing their short sword down, they skewer it into the ground as it.
Nice.
And you've got 3 on your short sword.
I was gonna
It's
say, is
just
that
a
a full
totem.
shish kebab?
I have a totem pole in the ground.
You
Oh.
Yeah. And you're just like, and they're like squished against each other. And it's at this point that as you squish it down, somehow, by the grace of the gods of this universe, a just explosion of gus, of pus and goo and crusty bits all over Van, but nobody else.
Nice.
Because of like, it's like popping a cherry one direction, and Van is the only one standing there as it's just all over Van's body.
All you hear from Van is just.
So wait. When you dashed to grab him, did all the blood and goo and stuff like wash off of you because of the wind and
It's
stuff?
real crusty, so
Like-
some of it, but not some of it. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, now
Yeah, I feel dirty right now. I feel pretty dirty.
I will say that probably that would have taken a key point to do because you would have to use your bonus action to dash like that. So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, to do the full
Yeah.
180.
Yeah.
I fully agree with that. Yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm all good with it.
Worth it. That was dope.
Wow.
that was super dope.
Is at this point you hear, do not worry, I will save. What the fuck? Skids in. One hand as a dagger, one hand as a rapier. I was correct to trust in you. You beat, what is that? And he's just kind of pointing at the brains that Heppin has skewered.
Hey, Blur, you ever have a brain kebab?
No, cannot say that I have.
Do you eat?
I do not. We should probably find our way out of here. And he kind of starts looking around like.
Do I keep the brain kebab?
I have no idea how to calculate that sort of answer. Up to you.
While I was gonna say, just while they're doing that, I want to listen to the device.
Yeah. It's at this point that Dareem will hold it up. Let's paint a little pictures, right? You're standing outside the prize tent, all alone seemingly. The noises are still going off around you in your peripheral, all of the above. No one has to make any wisdom saves, but you do seem to be eerily alone for a moment. And as you focus on the device, it points you north the way that Van had disappeared earlier. Same direction, has not changed.
While this is going on, can I go steal the candy from the prize?
Oh yeah.
Area?
Y'all see in the glass case, it is just pried open. The thing is, people don't do this. Like a lot of the royals, like this is not their thing to like try and steal, or they were brain controlled, or they were like being magically taken over. It's just unlocked back there, and you hear it, and you open up the prize thing.
Can I go get that controller?
Yes. Y'all,
Cool. I'm gonna go get that
you
controller.
see Heppin as like Vane is standing there, gooed up, talking to Blur. Heppin's just like you see Heppin.
I'm
just
getting the candy.
in
I'm
the
getting the
candy?
earth candy
Yeah.
that I know it has some sort of psychedelic. Like,
Oh my god. I made those prizes before that joke ever existed. And that's canon. Who knows what a Tootsie Roll does to you? Good luck out there, everybody.
So Jax immediately goes behind the desk and starts looking through controls to see if he can figure out how to get himself another ultimate prize. Because he thought the first ultimate prize was lame.
He gave it to me. Oh man.
So
I
you look
create
over and because Heppin is only like 4 foot 3'8", right? Like Heppin is in the case, just like opening up a piece of Tootsie Roll and like looks at you, just kind of gives you the eyebrows, and then Dareem and Jax are like, oh shit, and they dash behind the counter and start just having their way.
So wait, this is a PS3 controller?
There is a
Okay.
PS3,
sure this is canon.
all cords attached, HDMI and power cord, and a PS3
So
controller
it does have a
with
cord.
the USB
It
3
has-
or USB mini that would attach to, and a disc of Final Fantasy 13.
wait, are we gonna be able to? We're gonna play Final Fantasy on robot
I'm only taking
later,
the
aren't we?
controller, guys.
No, you
Like-
gotta take the whole thing so we can figure out how to attach a screen to you and play PS3.
As Heppin is just like
You know
picking
what?
up
I'll do
sweets.
it. I'll take it.
They
Fine.
see you pick up the controller, and Hep just says literally all of that. Wait, why don't you take the whole thing? What are you doing? Just take the whole thing. And you're like, oh, I couldn't. Okay, I will. And then you're just-
Can I make like a compartment for it to just go in?
PS3s are huge.
Like,
this is the grill.
This is the George
I mean,
Foreman
I
grill
was just
version.
gonna ask,
Yeah,
like,
this is the
how,
Foreman.
you know.
So you can put it in. Y'all can try to stuff.
I mean, how much weight does
How
it
long
have?
does it take you to attach things to you?
Oh, you know what? You know what? Better yet, can I can I like break it down, but like I guess
Sure.
install it into me so that I always have it.
So the weird thing.
Are you trying to become a PlayStation 3?
That was
to
my
absorb it into my
idea
crafting
originally.
tools.
I want to play PS3 off of the screen that you inevitably attach to your robot
Can
body.
I break it down while still making it be functionable through
So,
me?
Dareem and Heppin sitting there. Dareem, you're like, I can carry this by my arms, but I wonder what's inside. And as you flip it over, you see a section of screws. I have actually disassembled a couple of these things in my life, so it's interesting. So you see a couple little screws. You pull out the necessary tools, and you start popping off the bottom casing. And looking inside, you have never seen anything like this before. The world of Karth
It's
and the magic
technology.
systems that you use are not AC/DC power structured microchip board level technology. So much so that the plug on the end of it, you've never seen that. You've never seen an HDMI cord. This box seems to be some wild thing that is intricately made for sure, but you do not know how you would ever even begin to assemble this specific thing into you.
Can I identify it?
Do you want to take 10 minutes?
Yeah. Or can I just cast a spell Like, I don't need to
you
take
can
10
also
minutes
before
if we ain't got that type of time, you know?
That's true too. You could also pick it up for later. Like you have like a backpack on you, right? Like a satchel. Like you could fit one. You're getting to the edges of what like I think your backpack could carry. A backpack can hold a PS3 in it. It's just like you can't hold 5 PS3s in it. You know what I mean?
There's only one though,
No,
right?
yeah, exactly. There's only one. I'm just saying you could put it in your bag and do it later. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Like if you want
wanted
to.
to double check. You didn't have to take
I thought I could.
I never said that. I was just saying that, like, you know, it's as big as a PS3, so like you have a backpack on you, you can throw it in there. Yeah.
Okay, I disassemble it, see that this is something new, and I'll just throw it in the backpack.
Please write down the exact things that y'all are pilfering. Okay, Jax, make an Arcana check.
Okay. Can I get some guidance?
Jax points up at these tubes and is like, Dareem, help me?
Yeah.
Sure. I just like kind of touches his shoulder.
You can send your little dude over there because you can cast guidance because it's a touch spell through your little dude.
Oh, okay. I tell him to go and do that.
Yeah. A little boy chef lands on your shoulder and you feel guided.
15.
15. You
How do I create item?
you in your notes, honestly, somewhere you can also probably just put like I have a PS5, you know what I mean? And then I can add like item or a PS3.
Did I upgrade this to PS5?
You did not. If I can't get a fucking PS5 yet, your ass isn't getting one. You're not getting on this game, you hear me? Until they're sold in stores of readily available. Looking over the tube system, and the more you look at it, what you kind of gather, these things, this is actually pretty incredibly made. And it would take a little bit longer to figure out exactly how to suck out prizes from it. There are no tickets, right? There is the tube that was originally stuck in, and maybe you've stuck some stuff in there to try and fit, like, if it'll work, but it does not seem to trigger unless there is a ticket given.
Can I go help? And can I draw a fake ticket?
Yeah. You fly over there and you attempt to make a sleight of hand check to draw this fake ticket.
15 total?
15. You kind of sketch one out. You kind of do the fold at each edge, the lick, and then you can make it try and fit in as y'all are talking about it. And as you put one in, it does not seem to work. And it is at this point, you will hear Blur, who has just been standing and watching y'all. And I guess Van has too.
Honestly, no. I think while they were splitting off to do their thing, because Kestra's body is very close by.
The two bodies, Sasha's is behind the desk, and Kestra's off there,
yeah, cool. No, I just use part of her dress to just kind of wipe myself off.
Okay. Off on his own adventure, Van walks over to Kestra and lifts their dress and starts wiping off, lifts her dress and just starts wiping off all the goo and crust that he can.
To be polite about it, I'll rip off a piece of the dress. Use that.
It is
as
at
cloth.
this point that you see, you rip off from the knees down or something. You see these on her body, hidden from ankle to knee, over the front of the shin and the back of the calf are two stitched together seams, seam lines, they were split open and stitched back together. And over each part, up to the thigh and down to the ankle, there are two smiley face stitches in the body also.
So how many do I see?
You see two smiley faces on this body. Total? They are not like the tattoos that you got. They are sewn in there, like a piece of the sewing.
Oh.
Yeah. Like this thing was Sally from Halloween Town place. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Okay. So seeing that, can I check the arms and neck?
As you lift it up, there seems to be a smiley face on the front of the hand. There seems to be a smiley face as you pull down the call. Call? C-A-W-L?
The
Collar?
That's
I
a
don't
word.
know. It could be. My brain thinks it is. As you pull down the collar, there is a smiley face right on the neck. And in all the places that y'all started developing, you do check, and there seems to be that on top of those smiley faces, though, not on top of them literally, but also there are seams going from palm all the way down to like the tendon line where the elbow is, and this person has been opened up and stitched back together.
Ew.
Gotcha.
It is at this point, as you're like starting to rummage over the body, Blur will just, don't mind me, but I think we should probably be going.
Not yet. I want another ultimate prize.
Can I follow the tube? Where does the tube go?
I knew you were gonna do that. Yeah, so you fly up into the tubes. Flying, you have disappeared, and you kind of look at Jackson like, 1 sec, buddy. And you just buzz off into up into this, following that first tube. You fly about 10, 20, 30 feet, and you find yourself underneath this like device that has these swirling tubes of metal and glass just going into it. And this seems to be what the top of the tent is covering over, is this metal ball that is like 40 feet across. Is that way too big? No, like it's huge. Like it is this huge ball that is like half domed and kind of like the Terror Dome from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but like the very top of it, hidden underneath the tent itself, like 40 feet across, and all these tubes are coming out of it.
Is there an opening anywhere? Like, is there a top to it?
Investigation or perception, whether you're touching stuff or looking at stuff.
Is it possible for me to get up there
Perception.
too without flying?
I'm perceiving.
You want to start calling up this tube?
Yeah.
Make a acrobatics check.
14.
4.
4 and 14.
4 and 14. So Jax is like, aw. He starts doing the first day at school, trying to climb up the rope, but can't get up like that, like past the bottom, because he doesn't know the tech yet. As he's like grabbing, and like this tube is super thick. In theory, you could, but currently you can't really get yourself up the tube. With the 14, the machine itself seems to be whirring along, like it is currently working, right? Like it is a constant, and flying around it. You spend a little bit of time, like, over top to the side. Oh, third try, there is a door on the bottom.
Well, can I get in the door?
On this door, there are 2 circular handles that look exactly like the door to Noth's room that you went through.
Ooh, so if I learned anything about that, those handles don't work. Is there any other buttons around
Make
it?
an investigation check.
Investigate. Do I get advantage because I've opened these doors before?
Yeah.
We opened up Pandora's box, baby.
I'm gonna have to say no to you, okay? I know I love you.
What am I making? Is it a perception?
This is an investigation.
Investigation.
'Cause you're
so
touching
18.
stuff. 18. You poke around on the edges, and you seem to find, with a in my head setting a meets it beats it DC of 18, a button some 10 feet off, trying to be like hidden underneath a pipe. Yes. And it looks the same as the other one.
Ooh, I'm gonna push the button.
As you do, the door. And at this point, Jax, I think you can like follow underneath the tent, right? Like looking up, now that she can't climb, and you can see Hep working up there, like almost like looking up into the top of like a smaller circus tent. There is a machine up there, so you're more than willing to talk if you want.
Did it work? Did it open?
I'm working on it, buddy. Almost there. I'll get you. Is there something that you want that's cool? What do you want?
I don't know.
What's your favorite color?
I don't know. I've never thought about that. Why have a favorite color?
Well, you
What
got
is a
30
favorite color?
seconds. I'm almost in.
Purple.
Okay.
Yep. Purple.
Dramatic. At this point, the door and pops open, and it is open.
All right, I'm going in and I'm finding something purple for Jax.
Yeah, I love Heppin so much. I really do.
Basically, what you see as you move up into this contraption, you open up into a room about 10 feet tall, thick, right? So you pass by 10 feet of like thick metal into this room, and it feels like going into almost like a vacuum. Like it's like sucking in as you're moving into there. Moving in from the pipes, the first thing that you see, like there are pipes sticking out into this room, right? And it is a domed 10-foot little area that you are a tinier person and you can get up in there. And as you do, what you see is you see the tubes ending into the room, into essentially what looks like an orb of about the size a little bit bigger than a basketball. And each orb is crackling in red energy. But there does not seem to be any items in this machine.
Can I like go up to the orb and say like grand prize?
Perfect.
You do that. Nothing seems to happen.
Can I do like pinky finger touch it?
You touch it, and it kind of like it is a coursing energy held within. It looks like staring into a hurricane of red, almost like the energy is swirling inside of it constantly, held within there. Right before, and as you're looking through, you can kind of peek that the tubes that are going into these balls are they're cut off. Like there's like a valve opening for them almost, like the valve, like the pipe is not open and the ball is swirling. And there are about 6 of them, however many prize sections that you can get.
Can I kind of like trace back which one might be the grand prize valve?
The big gold tube is the one that you like followed up here, and that's clearly the one that was like the grand prize. But it has the same thing. Can
I go release the valve?
So there's no buttons or valves on the actual tube itself. Well, I was just saying there's like a door at the end of the pipe that seems to open. Can
I like pry the door open at the end of the pipe?
Are you trying to separate the ball?
No, I'm just literally trying to open the pipe so the air goes through it.
Inside the ball to where like it is not accessible currently because the pipe is going into the ball itself. And as you're staring at it, you're kind of getting that like whatever happens over here, something triggers this thing, the door opens, that storm does something, and a thing comes out. You hear a voice in your head. I do not know where you disappeared. I do think it is time for us to be going.
Fine. Can I like blow on it? What if I like wave my wings really hard? Does it like dissipate?
It is the glass orb, all of the above, it is held firmly in place and has made no
I can't like take
change.
it, can I? Like I can't push it shocked me, so I'm assuming if I touch it more, it's gonna hurt me.
You can try.
I'm gonna use 2 fingers and touch it.
Okay, it's like touching static electricity, right? Like it is a shock. It doesn't do any damage as you just kind of, what about one of these? And as it just kind of like shocks you off.
So like if I touch it with my whole hand, how much does it hurt? How bad does it hurt?
Putting your whole hand on it?
Yeah.
Okay, you stick your whole hand on it. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Dope.
Curiosity.
I see you have filled in the Emmett roll. I'm sticking my hand in lava because I fucking
15.
15?
Yeah.
Do you round up or down on Damahe? Down? As you stick your hand against it for a second, you feel this like shocking, sparking energy run up your arm. I don't know if anyone's accidentally stuck their finger into a socket and like kind of got the electrical current going through them. Just me? There was one time I was just trying to plug something in and I was like fumbling around in the dark, so my finger was on the metal part, and then I stuck it in and I just went, It was not great. Don't recommend it.
That can kill you.
Sounds like
You feel that coursing through you for a second
cartoons,
as you take
dude.
5 points of damage.
Nice. All right. Cool.
It was worth it.
Don't think I'm gonna get your toy. I'm gonna go.
As you fly down, yeah, that happens, and Blur is starting to shift around. And like, I do have a way forward. I do think that we are somehow, I'm not exactly sure, we seem to be left alone. Here's the thing, I've never really seen Noth leave this area once the nobles like yourselves get here. So something seems to be amiss. It is why I wanted to talk to you. You what?
I gave him some peanut butter earlier.
For the record, only he is hearing his responses.
No,
right?
everybody hears once he's speaking mind. If you have.
Sorry, Heps.
No,
Heps.
everybody hears everything.
Like
when you're talking to Blur.
We all hear. So it's like one big chat room. Like we all hear
you're
everything.
all on a Discord call in his head. Yes.
I'm like flying down.
Cool.
I just got done like telling Jax like, "Hey, I'm sorry, but I got electrocuted."
Buddy.
I'm like, I
okay.
can't get you a grand prize. You got to figure out how the tube works. But yeah, Not's probably gone because I got him stoned off of peanut butter.
You threw rocks at him and gave him what?
No, I gave him a snack that makes him feel like he's floating on a cloud.
Hep, I don't think you know what peanut butter is.
Have you ever tried peanut butter? Because I don't think you know what peanut butter is, Van.
Peanut butter doesn't do peanut
Do you
butter.
want
It's
to?
a
Do you want
food.
to take a bet? Because you could try some peanut butter right now, and I bet you'd be a whole different bunny rabbit.
I'm just looking back and forth right now between both of them.
Blur, you said you had a way out.
I do. I have my tunnel system that I have a little area that I refresh in overnight. I first discovered, when they discovered me in there, I went dark for some amount of time, but I have recently broken hold of, and he points to the back of his head, and you see underneath where his hat folds down to his skull, meeting his neck area, there is a red orb implanted into the back of his neck. And an accident from another fight about 2 months ago, somebody cracked this and they did not notice. It seems that the engineer who set this thing in, I think, does not really check in on us. Wow, thinking is really interesting for this guy.
The engineer guy that we met earlier with the snaky hand
he gets
thing.
real fucking serious, and just immediately, you have met the one called Spark Hollander.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ran into him earlier
Yes.
when we walked out of
And-
the house that we'd appeared in.
You have lived to see and tell the tale.
Yeah, a royal that's supposed to be on this ship, so there's no reason that he would kill me. Wink, wink.
I do not understand the gesture, but I understand the sentiment. Maybe,
Blur, why don't you tell us on the way?
that is a good idea.
Jax looks very bratty in this moment. Kind of like,
I'm gonna go over to Jax and I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm sorry I couldn't get you a present. Do you like books? Because I got a bunch of cool books that I stole from Noth's room.
oh,
You could learn a new language.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never tried that before.
All right, here you go.
There's also, in the prize section, there were a section of like Sherlock Holmes novels, literally.
So thanks, Heppin.
Yeah, I'm sorry it's not anything cool.
No, this is cool. This is definitely
There's pictures in it.
Ooh, cool. Can I read? What is reading? He just kind of takes a book and starts looking through it and flipping through it. He's like, I don't know what any of this means. I want to learn, though.
Yeah, you don't speak English, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
How does a computer brain work?
Here's
Do you
the
start to learn as soon as you...
Here's the thing. My sweet little Astro Boy, who gave me free reign on all of his backstory and said, I want to be an Astro Boy. He wakes up. That's all you get. And I was like, nope, I'm going to fill in the blanks. As you are looking at this language,
Yes.
the gibberish that it is, you've never necessarily tried to read before, begins to make sense. The CIR of circus at the front of it twists in your mind and translates into the equivalent of festival, circus, and the etymology, the breakdown of the word itself of what a circus is. And as you focus on one for about like 12 seconds, the word makes sense in your head. And then you do it again. And then you do it again. And the words slowly at this point of this English written book are actually making sense. And I'll put something in your character sheet.
Cool. So is it I'm learning the language or I am learning, it's like learning it back and forth?
Currently,
kind of idea?
it's still going through the translation process. You have seemed to start to unlock something. Of
Gotcha.
like you could slowly read this word by word, but potentially you're pretty quick. Like potentially, who knows down the line what would happen.
It's like your brain is teaching you English for the first time.
Interesting.
It seems
Dang.
to have unlocked
Wow.
that you already kind of knew this language.
Huh. Cool. Okay. You kind of see Jax kind of start mumbling to himself slowly, and he's just kind of like, circus, corn dog. It's just like little words as he's kind of going
What
through
are
it.
you saying? Jack?
Yeah, and he is saying what he is saying right now. He is not saying so. The world of Karth, the language. I'm gonna give you a little taste. It's like Aphalan, Ethereal, Ephelulithin. Like it is a very beautiful language. There are kas, tuz. There are like and ga is in there a little bit, but for the most part, the thing he just said sounds literally nothing like anything you've ever spoken before.
Is it like the equivalent of hearing someone that's like possessed by like a demon? And you're like...
I was going to say speaking like a language you don't know, but if that's
Yeah.
what you're thinking, that's what
He's like, that's what I think. Is it like, are you okay? Are you...
No, but like a little, because he's also doing it super slow. Like it's
Yeah.
like corn dog. Van, you know what that is.
My ears perk up. I'm like,
Jax, you can read English.
Is that what I'm doing? I didn't. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just kind of looking at it, you know, right? Seeing it, and the words are like shaping into other words. Yeah.
What are you, Jax?
I'm Jax. I don't know how to answer that question. What is existence?
All right, come on, Jax, we need to go.
I'm gonna try and shuffle Jax along to follow Blur. I believe
yeah.
is
Follow him.
Y'all follow along and we'll do a little follow talk. He will lead you past the first area, past the closed doorway, and he will lead you in between the prize section and the Ferris wheel section, near where the ladder, like the ladder's like 60 feet off in the distance. You can like see it as it's coming up. At the very edge of where the building the dome turns into a building, and then lower there is a sewer grate in the wall that or in the floor that meets where the wall is. And Blur walks over. As he's walking over, I remember some things. I have a memory bank that I have been working on. I have some. Maybe you can make sense of it. All I know is, from what the train used to be, it has been taken over, and my master, creator, illuminator, Pressa, was taken. From that moment, I did not remember until the past month. And as he's walking you through, Pressa.
Owner and controller, is that what they said?
He called them basically their creator. Like, that is creator. Mama. He
Could you do the name one more time?
Illuminator Pressa is what he said.
Illuminator Pressa.
As he's walking through, he says that, Illuminator Pressa. And normally when a royal has come in here, I sing and I dance in the Colosseum, doing what I have been programmed to do. But after cracking the orb on accident, I was given new chance at life.
I wonder...
Will you stay here?
I want to know what has happened to Pressa.
You could come with us. Help us, maybe.
I have some memory banks stored. I can show you an illusion, essentially, of them, of the last things I remember. I think we are up against a crew of some sort. I think they were circus people or something. That is my first memory of them on this train.
You were surprised when we said we met Mr. Sparkman and lived? Most people die after they meet Sparkman, is the way that you made it seem?
Spark Hollander was one that fought my master and won. It is my final memory before the blank.
Oh.
I can show you what I saw if we get to my residence.
Yeah.
Yes, show
I
us,
wonder
please.
why he didn't...
Lead the way.
Oh, Blur, were there any other royals around when we first came on the ship?
I have been trying to track the stops for the last 2 months, and they seem to happen 3 weeks, 4 weeks at a time. I have seen 2. I do not think we made a stop at all. It is why I was confused when I saw you 4 walking in.
What? That doesn't make sense. Is Sparks this smart engineer, crazy madman guy that killed your creator? If you're smart enough to be able to know when the royals came on, then why did our small lie about being royals pass him?
From what I have noticed, I have not interacted with Hollander past them, or the one they seem to call a Dane, but all of them seem to be very focused on some sort of task at hand. They are all working towards something. Whatever they are working towards is dangerous for all of Karth and the realm. Maybe he was just distracted.
Yeah, I mean, he was on the phone with someone for a while.
They all seemed very just surprised that we were here. Maybe...
Because they're not supposed to be here either.
You're right. Blur, where are your quarters?
Oh, follow me. And it's at this point that y'all get to that sewer grate. He'll pop it open. And he will open it up, and down here, and you will enter into the sewer grate, following Blur, looking past over your shoulder. Right before, as Blur goes down,
I love it.
Heppin, you still have that rock?
Yeah.
You hear on the ground behind you. Everybody hears this clattering on the ground behind Heppin.
Look, what the fuck?
Yeah.
As y'all turn around,
I look up from the book.
about like size of what could fit in your fist or in your palm, a yellow rock sits on the ground.
I'm gonna pick it up and bring it into the sewer.
Yeah, as you look at it, it seems to be the one that was in your pocket before.
Yeah.
Same as you like look over and stuff, looks the exact same.
I'm gonna pick it up.
Yeah, must have fallen out.
I'm gonna bring it into the sewer.
As y'all, one by one, go into the sewer. You're all just, looking ahead, pick up the rock. I know Dareem knows what it is too. I mean, he saw that you had a rock.
Yeah.
And he's just like, my bad. And pick it up and okay. And then go down the ladder into the sewer. One last look at the festival carnival area that you have all conquered behind you. Destroying little brain people.
Hey man, they attacked me.
For the audience, none of you know this happens. We're going to cut to like traipsing around Central Park. Cascading trees overhead, a beautiful golden sky. In the next area of the train, underneath a tree, Noth sits, eating these delicious giant fruits. He laughs to himself as he takes a bite, and he's like, I think I was supposed to be doing something. Fuck. Holy shit, what is that? And that's where we're going to end our session.
Yes! I'm so happy we had no clue.
Heppin saved the day with peanut butter?
God,
Fucking
way. Damn
That's
peanut butter.
the most amazing thing. I had absolutely no clue that Noth was like the bad guy right now, and I want to go back and watch when I said, "Yeah, you want some peanut butter?"
Oh, yeah.
What your reaction was?
I was like, okay. That's interesting and different. And on top of everything else, because of the amount of stuff that you definitely just went through, I like to kind of like speed up level 3 to 5-ish, you know, like a little bit more.
Oh.
And everybody levels up. So you are all
Yes.
level characters.
Yes.
Yeah. You're level
One
4
more level.
characters.
And I can cast Fireball.
Yes. Oh no! I don't want to give Jax Fireball. Can you Fireball? Click and Fireball?
No, you can't cast. If you use your action to cast a spell, you cannot use your bonus action to cast a leveled spell, and vice versa.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah,
you can
I get it.
cantrip leveled spell, but you can't leveled spell.
What does Quicken do?
Unless you have action surge,
Right,
because it gives
right,
you a
right,
completely new action. Quicken allows you to take a spell that has a casting time of a single standard action and
make it a bonus.
Make it a bonus action.
Sweet. So you could Booming Blade Fireball.
Yeah. Or what I personally like to do is run in with Shocking Grasp.
That's stupid. Stop.
If it hits, they lose their reaction, which means they can't counterspell, and then bonus action cast a spell.
You son of a bitch.
Or they attempt to
level up.
counterspell the cantrip, and it's like, whatever.
Heck yeah.
You just, real quick, you just go to Builder and you just
So that's
increase
it
your
for
level
Tragic
to
Party
4.
Session 3. I hope y'all have fun. Love you. Woo!
Yay.
Everybody say goodbye. Let's go party.
Oh yeah.
Can
Do
you-
its purpose?
Can you up your mic at all, Heppin?
Yeah.
Oh God!
I'm sorry.
Seeing what that was, it was fun, but like in the moment, I had no idea what was happening. Can you up your mic?
Hello? Is that better?
Yeah, that's
Hello?
great, that's great,
check.
that's great.
Tell me when to stop.
That's good.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's good. Split the difference. Come back
Hello?
down a little bit because you're blowing
Hello?
out.
Babe, wait, babe.
I can't
Bep,
see
bep.
Jack.
Bep, 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 bep. Okay, is that good?
I think so, yeah.